All right, we're here. We have talked, Christian XC1 Review, covering Las Vegas and the world. We have talked for the last 2 or 3 months that the teams in the NFC West, the Rams, the Seahawks, were at the top of the heap. I've always said the whole time that I thought the NFC was the better of the two conferences this year. And yep, the Patriots won 10-7 in a snooze fest today in Denver. New England will be in the Super Bowl. The winner of this game will be the Super Bowl champion, in my opinion. I don't even think it's up for discussion. So here we are. We are a couple minutes away from, I believe, is arguably the best football game of the entire NFL season, as the Seattle Seahawks will take on the Los Angeles Rams. Christianic C1 Review in Las Vegas. Game, of course, is taking place in Seattle. We'll be here for the whole 3.5 hours. And then after that, we will do a mini Super Bowl version, of course, discussing our thoughts on the Super Bowl, which, of course, will be the winner of this game will get to play the New England Patriots. Personally speaking, again, I expect that the winner of today's game will end up being the Super Bowl champion, unless some crazy injury or something that is unknown happens. I expect we are going to see the winner of this game be the next champion of the NFL. Good afternoon, Tom. Good afternoon, Sunshine. Questions for today's game, truthfully, for me personally, is can Sam Darnold? I mean, again, I know this Seahawks team is built. I understand they got a lot of moving pieces, but the question I wonder today is, can Sam Darnold execute in arguably the biggest game of his entire NFL career? That is going to be the question for me. Matthew Stafford won a Super Bowl a couple of years ago. The Rams beat the Bengals. So Matthew Stafford knows what it takes, and we know that Matthew Stafford is the Rams quarterback. He's not going to have many more opportunities, to get to the big game. So again, I still think that the experience is greater than for the Rams, but the Seattle Seahawks defense, if the Los Angeles Rams offensive line is able to give Matthew Stafford enough time to throw today, then this will be a close game. That's what it's going to come down to, in my opinion, is what will the Rams offensive line produce today for Matthew Stafford to give him a chance to open it up, the running game, the passing game, etc. If those things are not possible, I don't think we'll see 41-6 today like last week, but we could see a lopsided affair for sure. That's my opinion. Of course, if you're new here, go over to the main channel. We did some good videos today. Cheap Eats in Las Vegas, and a recap of Tough Enough 151, the Las Vegas-based MMA promotion. Those videos are over on the video section, in the non-live section, or as I like to call it, the main channel, the front of the page. Go over and check those out today. We'll talk about that and a lot of other Las Vegas stuff as well, and all those kinds of things. We're getting ready for the national anthem here in a minute. Christianic C1 Review in Las Vegas. We've been doing this all year. Live NFL reaction. We're down to the NFC Championship game. One more to go after this. We appreciate all the support, whether you're watching a minute, a second, an hour, 100 minutes, 100 hours. Thank you so much. Whether you're watching right now live or you're watching a recorded version of this, thank you for supporting CY Interview in Las Vegas on YouTube. We greatly appreciate you right now. Tom says in the chat that both defenses are too good for a blowout. Again, I told you last week that the Rams would beat the Bears. I just thought that they were more capable based on experience, and the Bears barely beat the Packers the week before. Division teams are always tough, but I told you I knew the snow was not going to be a factor. My humble opinion on this front, Seahawks defense is still a little bit better, but agreed. Are we going to see, we've seen these two teams play. Seahawks won by a point at Seattle. The Rams won by 2 points at home. So both of these games have been decided by 3 points or less. I don't think we're going to get 10-7 today like New England and the Broncos. Could we have 17-14? I think that's even too low, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess we're going to see very shortly whether this is going to be one of these games where both defenses collapse and there's an offensive battle, or are we going to see a game of inches and first downs and field position? Yeah, maybe the second scenario is more likely. You may be right about that, but again, I'm just sitting here thinking to myself that this is going to be arguably the best football game of the entire NFL season is right now in a couple of minutes, and we're here live talking about it and looking forward to that today. So we'll talk about some other things Las Vegas based throughout the 3.5 hours, and thank you again for those of you who are joining our NFL Live today, and we'll be keeping scoring updates in the chat and giving you up-to-the-minute thoughts on possessions and players as always. And we thank you so much for joining us today here in Las Vegas on YouTube. Las Vegas, the most exciting city in the world. Thank you so much for being here on live today on our YouTube. And we look forward to your comments in the chat as well. And today's earlier matchup, I know it was in the snow, but Broncos had a backup quarterback. I expected more from the Patriots today. I think everybody expected more from the Patriots today. Had the Broncos got to the Super Bowl somehow, it would have been the biggest favorite in history for the NFC winner. But I still think that whoever wins this game today will be the favorite, odds-on favorite going into the big game. And I just don't see. I think New England will get a wake-up call against either of these teams, I believe, in the big game. So we'll see. Obviously, as far as that goes and is concerned, but Seattle, it's been a little while. Could we get another rematch of Seattle and New England? So yeah, weather was too bad for scoring. I agree with that, but. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we just say, maybe we compliment Denver for hanging in there for all 4 quarters. I don't know. Maybe we just compliment Denver for hanging in there. I don't think many people expected much of Denver this week. Obviously, the conditions are going to be much different in Santa Clara, California in a couple weeks. Maybe we should just say that terrible conditions equal low-scoring games, and that's fair, but this is the best game. This is the Super Bowl right here in a couple of minutes. You're 100% right. This is the Super Bowl right here. And I wouldn't be surprised if the big game in a couple weeks, if the NFC winner wins by 3 scores, I wouldn't be surprised by that either. I would not be surprised by that either. NFC conference, I've thought all year was much better. Had the Bills won last week, I think the Bills would have been in the Super Bowl had they beat the Broncos. And yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's just one of those situations where we've been talking the whole year about how the AFC is down. Obviously, the Chiefs didn't make the playoffs, and the NFC, the West specifically, that division just seemed like it was above everybody else. And of course, the 49ers knocked out NFC East's champion Philadelphia Eagles. Rams knock out the NFC North champion Chicago Bears. Rams Seahawks in the finals. The others were, divisional things. Rams, of course, knocked out also the NFC South, Carolina Panthers. So think about that. The runners-up in the NFC West knocked out all 3 division winners. So the NFC West was just above and beyond everybody else. And I don't think that I think that that was clear for the last, was clear for the last 2 months. I think that was perfectly clear for the last 2 months that the NFC West was better than the rest of the than the rest of the NFC and the NFL overall. So, Christian NXT One Review covering Las Vegas and the world. We are seconds away from kickoff. So it's just crazy how bad. Again, it's cold in a lot of the country today in the United States. Snowing. All the best to everybody dealing with that. Hope you're doing okay. The Seahawks are going to kick off here to the Rams to start. Rams are wearing old school. I like that. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. A trip to Santa Clara is on the line today for the Seahawks and the Rams. The most anticipated game of the NFL playoffs is now officially underway. Kickoff is returning, and the Rams are going to return it 32-yard line approximately, and that's from Matthew Stafford and company will begin their first drive. Matthew Stafford, of course, already won Super Bowl for the Rams over the Bengals a couple years ago. He'll take the field. 6-1 record all time versus Seattle. Only loss was Week 16, of course, this year. That 1-point loss at Seattle. We always talk about this. Division road games are tough. They are not easy whatsoever. Let's see what Matthew Stafford can do with his years of veteran NFL experience. First off is a hand and a run, and that's going to be for about maybe 3 yards. I think Chippy is a very well said definition of today's game. Fair enough. It'll be interesting to see what kind of flow we get from both of these teams. Will this be fast moving? Will this be slow moving? What will the rhythm of this game look like? And I agree with you. Stafford's in the backfield. It's going to make a catch. Still going to be short of the first down, though. It's going to be 3rd and about 2 on the field. Nakua, of course, with the catch there. Nakua's had a very interesting offseason this year. A lot of media headlines written about him, the Los Angeles Rams wide receiver. 3rd and 3 upcoming here. This is a long 3rd and 3. Feels like a 3rd and 6 from the 37-yard line for the Rams here. It's going to be an incomplete pass. And that Seattle Seahawks defense is going to be able to get the Rams off the field with a 3-and-out on the play, just like that. That's an incomplete pass. So we'll see what happens here on the punt. Too early for a fake punt, Tom? Probably. At some point, you got to try the fake punt, no? Not going to, obviously, but... Fair catch, 19-yard line for the Seahawks. Will start at their own 19. Let's see if they bring out Sam Darnold here. Right, let's see what the Rams defense can do today. Sam Darnold, 29 wins the last 2 seasons. If anyone would have told you a couple years ago that Sam Darnold was going to go from a bust of a New York Jets quarterback to being with the Vikings and then being with the Seahawks and winning more than 25 games, most people would have said, do you need to get your eyesight checked? But he has done it, and it just goes to show you that being in a different NFL system does make the difference, for sure. Run up the middle, first down, about 3 yards there. That's what we got for the first down there. On the first down play, it's going to be about 2nd and 7. The offensive line needs to guard both of these quarterbacks today for both teams. I mean, I know that sounds like common sense approach stuff, but the reality is that both of these defenses are really good. And so, there you go. I think laughed at and ignored is the best way to say it. Again, until like about, 7 weeks ago, I was still denying the Seattle Magic. Incomplete pass on second down, 3rd and 6 upcoming, 3rd and 5. I was denying the Magic, but the reality is that Sam Darnold is in a system where he's got a lot of great personnel around him that makes him a better quarterback. And I think that helps, obviously. And the Jets just don't have that. The Jets, for whatever reason, just don't have that. And the reality is that, again, I've gone down the list: Geno Smith, Sam Darnold, Aaron Rodgers. They all go to other teams and they make the playoffs. Pass up in the air, and that was too easy. 30-plus yard pass, first down, Seattle. Sam Darnold throws a bullet up there for a first down. What a play right there, and a catch by number 22 on the field. He just separated himself, and that was easy. Seattle's in scoring range already. Again, the Rams better get this together, or this is going to be a long day very early. Maybe it will be. Maybe it will be, but got to hold to a field goal attempt here. Great pass. That's the kind of pass that a top 5 quarterback makes. That is a kind of pass like that. Another first down inside the 10-yard line now for the Seahawks. First and goal at the 8-yard line. Seattle just seems like a bullet train ready to just smash into a wall. And they're just going to break right through that wall. The last 2 plays have been phenomenal examples of an offense that the Rams have not been able to guard here. And if the Seahawks do get a touchdown here, I'm not saying it's time to panic, but if I'm the Rams, I've got to be starting to think about, I got to start thinking right now that I got to match this. Running play. Seems like the Seattle Seahawks offensive line is just steamrolling the Rams right now. Seems like they're just steamrolling them. Second and goal upcoming. Run up the middle. Rams defense met that one, kind of. It's going to be 3rd and goal inside the 5. Let's see what the Seahawks can do here on 3rd down. If the Rams are able to hold the Seahawks here on 3rd down, if they're able to hold them on 3rd down, I have to tell you, this would be a great victory if the Rams were able to hold them. That would be, to me, that would be unbelievable if they're able to hold them here. Let's see. 3rd and goal for the Seahawks, about the 2-3 yard line. Rams are not going to be able to hold them. Touchdown. And there you go. Kenneth Walker III, the Seattle Seahawks running back. It's in for a touchdown. Missed opportunity for the Rams there. A very fast start by the Seahawks. Again, the Seahawks just look like a bullet train. Do they ever look like a bullet train, ladies and gentlemen? I would agree, Tom. It was a great drive by Seattle. Absolutely, 100%. 100% a great drive. I think what makes the Seattle team interesting is it's just really a team effort, right? There's not just one standout guy that's doing everything. It just seems like there's just, again, a combination approach here. And maybe that's why that's why I feel like they went under the radar, at least for me, for most of the season, right? Um, you know, the Saints were not a great football team this year, but they steamrolled the Saints in week 3 of this NFL season, steamrolled them. Absolutely steamrolled them. And maybe at that moment in time, even though it was the Saints, maybe we should have been keeping an eye on them at that point. But and then, they played well throughout the stretch, I'll say that. Early score, Seattle 7, Los Angeles 0. While we're at a break, just to review, go over to the video section, main channel front page. The recorded stuff already. Tough Enough 151 took place at the Palms Casino Resort on Thursday night. We have a full report up. Some great fights, some great fighters. Some of these people are going to be in the UFC. Some of them have already been in the UFC. But there are some great amateurs, great professionals that were on that fight card. You'll be able to see some clips of Tough Enough 151 at the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas. Go over to the main channel and watch that. And then also the fact be told is that, listen, Indiana beat Miami, one of the most expensive tickets. The Super Bowl is going to be an expensive ticket again this year. If you never can afford those Super Bowl numbers, you can always get on a plane, come to Las Vegas for a couple $100, stay at a resort for a couple of days, watch with some of the biggest football fans in the world at many of the different resorts in town. So, if you can't ever make it to the big game itself, you should consider possibly coming to Las Vegas to watch the biggest game of the year. There are football parties all throughout. Sometimes there's NFL greats at these parties. Great time, obviously, to join in. If you can't, obviously, ever afford to go to the big game, and it's beyond expensive, of course, let's just go take a look at the internet webs while we're sitting here on commercial. I'm curious. I'm just curious right now for my own educational purposes. I'm going to guess the cheapest Super Bowl ticket is somewhere between $6,000 to $7,000. Let's see if I'm right about that. $6,200 right now. 2 tickets together, $6,250. That's where we are right now. There's also a bunch of different lotteries and raffles you can get in for a cheap amount of money if you want to take your shot. There's also that potential possibility as well. But yeah, I remember the Raiders game the game at Allegiant Stadium a couple of years, Tom. It was like, I think there were $70,000 tickets. $6,200 might actually be a bargain right now. It's actually a bad view either. What's kind of amazing, if you go look at it, it's actually the upper ends in the corner, but you can actually see the entire field. Now, I'm not endorsing anybody spend $6,200 on an NFL ticket, but the view is absolutely there for sure. But there are raffles. Oh, Tom, you can go to WrestleMania for both nights for 1/10 of the price. Again, there'll be tickets at the end. Right now, the cheapest ticket, I think, for one night of WrestleMania is around $300. You can go. There'll be tickets at the end because what the WWE does is they open up the ticket holes, as you know. There'll be more tickets available the last week. They won't be the greatest views, but they'll be there. Run on first down for the Rams. They're at the 31-yard line. People are here for the football, but there'll be $150 tickets and below for night 1 of WrestleMania like there were last year. I got my 2 for $130 each last year. And you saw where I sat, so it's possible. Again, pretty amazing stuff, but the reality is, but the Super Bowl is the biggest sporting event in America, if not, it's an entertainment event. It's an experience. It's more than just the game itself, and the game may not be good this year. We'll see. 2nd and 7 for the Rams here. Pass is up in the air, and there's a catch. Matthew Stafford throwing a bullet to Nakua. And there it is. They're down to the 25-yard line of Seattle. Nakua. Pakua, excuse me. There it is. Bullet catch. He should get a raise for that one. He should renegotiate his contract for that kind of catch. That's why they pay the big bucks. Incomplete pass to the end zone on first down. Second and 10 from the 26-yard line. Matthew Stafford's back in the pocket. He throws up in the end zone. Pass interference call. The ball was not catchable there to Davante Adams. So this is probably Davante Adams' last chance, by the way, to get to a Super Bowl also, by the way, in his long-running career. Another chance anyways. So, yeah, I mean, I think that those first two downs were very aggressive. I don't know. You can play the field here. Let's see what the Rams do here on 3rd and 10. Incomplete pass. Field goal attempt is coming up for the Rams. Points are good, but you got to play defense on that next series. Rams have got to play defense on that next series for sure. They have to. Good defensive stand there indeed. The field goal is up. That kick is going to be good. 7-3, Seattle over the Rams. Rams respond with a field goal attempt after a long pass. 8:15 left at the first quarter. It is going to be Seattle 7, Los Angeles 3. But yeah, also probably what happens aside from that is that the market for the diehard fans, they probably inflate the prices a little bit today, right? So this is probably one of the worst days if you're a fan of one of these NFL teams to buy a Super Bowl ticket. It's probably better to wait, obviously. That would be my educated guess, obviously. My thoughts are that the Rams need to play good defense on this next drive and find a way. So that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. They need to play some defense here. Set the tone. If it's 14-3, we could be looking at a repeat of next week. I'm not saying again that the score will be that one-sided, but they need to find a way to play some defense here. What's incredible is that the cheapest ticket for the Super Bowl, like maybe 20 years ago, was like $1,500. Welcome to the world of inflation. Welcome to the world of inflation. 8:15 left in the first quarter. Seattle 7, the Rams 3. Let's see where we end up here. Run on first down for the Seahawks. Walker probably about 5 yards there. The thing also is, when Las Vegas, Las Vegas had the Super Bowl last year, there were so many different parties and events. So if you're in the host city, you can go to the Super Bowl experience for like $30, meet players, and do all the fun stuff. So you don't just have to, I always like to say this, you don't have to just go to the big game. You can do a lot of things around the big game also. 2nd and 5 for Seattle here. Darnold steps outside. He's going to throw a pass that's going to be complete for a first down. Again, what I think what we're seeing from this Seattle Seahawks offense is there just are a bunch of different moving pieces, right? They really spread the ball around a bunch after that first down. I mean, that's what you're noticing about. It's really a team effort, and maybe that's why they're just blowing through people, not just depending on one or two weapons to make it happen. They're really a balanced offensive approach where there isn't just like one or two guys. Yeah. So correct, exactly. Like WrestleCon and all the independent wrestling shows and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to be sending out some requests this week for stuff around WrestleMania, but agreed 100%, Tom. I could not agree with you more than that. Absolutely. I know where you're going to be all 4 days. You'll be at the Horseshoe, Las Vegas. That's where you're going to be all 4 days, I'm sure. So I'll have to look at some of the indie shows as well. First down. Seattle's at the Rams 38 already. It just seems like watching this game, I just feel like Seattle is on a whole different level when they move the football. They're a tough offense to defend. Kenneth Walker III, I mean, the offensive line for the Seahawks, I would give them an A+. Right now, throughout this first quarter, the Seahawks offensive line gets an A+. They're just doing phenomenal. It just feels like two teams are on the field and one is just so much better than the other. 1st and 10 for Seattle at the Rams 38. Darnold's back in the pocket. He throws again. I think that's screen pass. That's a first down. Rams, if you give up another touchdown here, this is going to get potentially ugly early. Potentially ugly early. But again, I have to give the Seattle Seahawks offensive line an A+. I haven't seen one snap yet where I said, wow, that's not very good. They protected Sam Darnold well, given him plenty of time. And it seems like Seattle's on their way to scoring some more points here. There's one tackle by the Rams. About a yard, about back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10, there was no yards on that last play. Pass there for about 7, 8 yards. Just feels like Darnold is able to read the field, make those very difficult passes look easy. And it's probably, again, the credit is that Seahawks offensive line has truly added something to that, for sure. Going to be a catch and a 1st and goal coming up for Seattle. Again, another difficult throw by Sam Darnold puts the Seahawks inside the 10-yard line here. One-handed catch. That was pretty incredible. I agree, Tom. Wow, indeed. Rams defense is finally ready for the Seahawks run game in the backfield there. That's going to be a tackle for no gain. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left here in the first quarter. Seattle 7, the Rams 3. Seattle 7, the Rams 3. Yep. And Seattle is driving inside the red zone here. Going to be a penalty flag on the field after a run for 5 there. Wonder if that was an illegal motion or a holding penalty. Probably a holding call. We'll see what the penalty flag is. Was on the Rams. It was on Seattle. 2nd down repeated. Was that holding or illegal motion, Tom? I'm guessing it was holding. Please advise. Yeah, that's what I figured. Got it. Well, the Rams have been given a gift here, ladies and gentlemen. 2nd and goal from the 15. Christian XC1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. We got 2 minutes left here in this first quarter. It's 7-3. Seattle is 2nd and goal from their own from the Rams 19 after the penalty flag. Rams are able to tackle him after a 10-yard pass. Seattle's going to have 3rd and goal from the 9. If you're the Rams, you must stop this. You must hold to a field goal attempt. You must hold to a field goal attempt. You must hold to a field goal attempt if you are the Los Angeles Rams right now. You cannot let this get out of hand quickly or this thing's going to get ugly. You have to hold to a field goal attempt here. You must hold to a field goal attempt. Incomplete pass. No penalty flag on the field, and the Rams defense is given a gift of life. 4th and goal coming up here. Big victory for the Rams indeed, Tom. I agree 100%. Well said. A big victory for the Rams. Jason Myers is on the field. The snap is down, the kick is up, and it is good. 10-3, Seattle over the Rams. 54 seconds left here in the first quarter. We'll put that in the chat. It looks like this is going to be a game of who has it last, potentially. The Rams really need to match Seattle on this next drive. They really need to. If they can get it to 10-10, okay. But Seattle just looks like, again, a bullet train ready to go to the Super Bowl. They just seem to be a team on a mission. And again, watching today, I haven't watched a lot of Seattle this year, I admit, but I think what I've gathered again is they've just got so many different contributors, and it's really a team effort, and that's why Seattle seems to be above the fray of everybody else. Division game today, the Rams are capable if they get a couple of breaks. Darnold makes a couple of mistakes, but that's what it's going to take, I believe, today for the Rams to win today. They need to answer on this drive, too. They must answer. They must answer on this drive. They must answer. Yeah, so I agree. There could have been a penalty there. But the Rams would have just declined it anyway. The Rams would have declined it, and they would have just kicked the field goal anyway. So it doesn't really matter, I think, in that regard. You're really going to send the Seahawks back like 10 yards and have them have another third down. So I think the Rams would have just declined the penalty anyway. And they would have just kicked the field goal anyways. But I agree. I feel like there was a penalty miss there. I do agree with you on that. 100%. Another thing today in Las Vegas, we did a video this week, cheap eats, cheap food around town at the various resorts in Las Vegas. There's a lot of good options. Go over and watch our cheap meals in Las Vegas video. A lot of great things over there. Disclaimer, we did not get paid or sponsored by any of those resorts. Those are our own free will opinions. There is phenomenal food at a lot of these places, though, and I've been to a lot of them. So absolutely go over and check out our cheap eats in Las Vegas video this week for more information also on that. Upcoming news, Backstreet Boys are coming back to Las Vegas in early February. They'll be at the Sphere, the famous boy band, pop boy band. So also look for that in Las Vegas upcoming in the month of February, so I agree with that. The thing is that what I will say to you is that the Rams obviously gave them a game last time on Thursday night in week 16. So the Rams are capable. The question becomes, can they match them? And they're going to have to match. I think that they can't afford to not score on this drive. That's my opinion. Yep, things can happen. Yep, it's a long game. Yep, it's 4 quarters. But I think the Rams need to get a touchdown on this drive, honestly. I'd like to see that. I'd feel better if I were the Rams. Rams are going to start their own 35-yard line. 48 seconds left here in the first quarter. It's 10-3 Seattle over Los Angeles. Christian XC Review covering you from Las Vegas, the most exciting city in the world. We're watching the NFC Championship Game live, giving you live reaction. If you're watching in the recorded version, thank you so much, whether you're watching live or recorded. This is definitely a good one today. Thank you so much for being here. Let us know what you're doing this weekend in the chat, how you're doing. I hope you're weathering the storms all through the United States of America fine as well. 1st and 10 for the Rams here. We're going to hand it off on a run play and get approximately 3 yards there on first down. And that's probably going to take us. Nope, there'll be one more play before the end of the third quarter. I'll have a comment for you at the end of the first quarter in a minute, Tom, which you made a good point on in a minute. 2nd and 6 for the Rams at their own 38-yard line approximately. There's another run play. I like that. Right up the middle, and the Rams are going to get a first down. And that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter, a run by Williams. You said it well, but you know what's so interesting? We're on commercial break. What's so interesting, we were just talking about earlier the price of what a Super Bowl ticket is. Cheapest one right now, I think I looked on StubHub, I think it was $6,200. Tom talking about how WrestleMania prices, not that expensive and things around WrestleMania. You're 100% right. I mean, a lot of professional wrestling fans complain about the prices of stuff. But I think it's because they buy a lot of merchandise and a lot of other things, right? They're not just going to the event and doing stuff. I'm not saying there's an NFL merchandise and things like that too and keepsakes, but I think that it's because, and it's probably for a pro wrestling fan, you can spend a lot more money on things around the events and not the events themselves. So when they see these ticket prices go up, they get, pretty unamazed. But the point be told is that somebody could save up. Again, if you're in the city, not traveling, if you're in the city, somebody could save up if they lived in Las Vegas $500 to $1,000 a year to do this stuff. I'm sure you do that, right? You save up the money, you put it aside so you have time for the fun thing that you want to do every year. So, that's how I see in that regard. Super Bowl $6,200 non-travel. I mean, it's a lot of money. It's a 10 times plus difference. But when you really look at those prices, a couple $100 to go to WrestleMania on one day, or maybe about $500 for both days, isn't really that crazy when you think about it. If you're doing this as your one big event of the year, I think that's a fair statement. I agree with that. So we'll see if there's any cheap tickets to grab last minute again this year. I'll be taking a look at that for sure. We'll see if there are any to be grabbed as we get there in a couple months. Other news today, Patriots beat the Broncos 10-7, snooze fest of the day. I don't know. Here's what I'm going to say about the Patriots and Broncos game, and this is just my opinion, and I don't know if you agree or not. Patriots play out in snow and cold weather as it is, right? Patriots and Patriots play out in cold weather as it is. I thought there was going to be more points today from the Patriots. I get the Broncos defense is not bad, but I was expecting more points from the Patriots today. That's just my opinion anyway. 1st and 10 for the Rams at the 50-yard line. Second quarter's begun. Run play for about 3 or 4 yards. The one thing the Rams do have going for them is they've got speedy weapons as well besides the Seahawks. So they can move the ball on a fast pace as well. I will say that about the Rams also. That is one way they can match the Seahawks, is they do have some weapons as well that can absolutely open up the offense. But I feel like the Seahawks absolutely need to need not take for granted the Rams, but I think the Rams absolutely need to get a touchdown on this drive. I'd feel better if I were the Rams. Stafford throws it up. That's a first down pass going down to I think is that Davante Adams again? I think so. Davante Adams, number 17, catches the ball and takes it all the way inside the Seattle 25-yard line. So Davante Adams, one of the great veteran wide receivers of the NFL, takes it inside the 25-yard line. Average play per team is 8 yards each. The teams are matched up evenly. If the Rams get a touchdown on the board here, this one's going to get interesting. Rams are going to run the ball again. Not going to get anything there. Maybe a loss of 1 yard. 2nd and 11 coming up. 13:30 until the half. Seattle 10. The Rams 3. Chris Yannick, C1 interview covering Las Vegas and the world. The NFC Championship Game is live right now. We're here in Las Vegas watching it with you. Thank you so much. Join the chat. Let us know what you're doing this weekend. Let us know what's going on. Hope you're staying warm. A lot of the country is under a freeze fest. We're here in the entertainment capital world. It is cold outside. We're not getting any snow on the ground, but it is cold outside today. But pretty nice sunset right now. 13 minutes left until the half. Rams throw up the middle, and that's going to be another first down. Incomplete, actually. He didn't catch it. Can be an incomplete. That's 3rd and 10 here. Thousands of flights were canceled this weekend. That's how bad the weather is in America if you're watching from across the world right now. Adams had that one. I agree with you that you got to throw it more, though. I agree with that. 3rd and 10 here. I think Stafford's going to be throwing the ball here. I don't think any of us doubt that. And Stafford's going to get sacked in the backfield. Not a great. There was the Rams offensive line broke down for the first time today. Truly, Rams are going to have to settle for a field goal, and what I have that should be a face mask penalty potentially. There, I don't understand how that was not a face mask penalty. I don't know if you agree with that or not. Maybe I'm missing something, but I feel like the defender got ahead of Matthew Stafford's helmet there. But okay. Field goal attempt is upcoming. The kick is up, and that's going to be good. 10-6. The Rams at some point, 12 minutes and 11 seconds left. I mean, I don't understand. The defender touched the top of his helmet. I feel like, where's the face mask call? I understand that officiating. That is terrible. That is terrible. If I'm a Rams fan, I'm not happy about that. How are they missing those? You've got instant replay. You've got the NFC Championship game. You've got, I understand, refs are human beings, just like you and me. Punters are people too, as we always used to joke, right? Punters are people too. How do you miss that? And yeah, that's a crime right there. You know, you're supposed to have your best officiating crews. And I understand that refs are human beings, but come on, let's stop missing calls like that. That's not great at all. Not good one bit. 10-6, Seattle over the Rams. If I'm Los Angeles, I have to stop. I have to prevent the Seahawks from scoring points on this drive. You know, you have to prevent the Rams from scoring. You have to prevent Seattle from scoring points in this drive. That's where we are right now. And that is where we are. Truly. Doesn't have to be a 3 and out, but what they need is they need to just stop them from scoring points and punt the football. You can give up a first down or two. I don't mind that, but what they've got to do is they've got to prevent them from putting some points on the board. That's what they've got to prevent. This could be a very fast game, by the way. We're at already 12 minutes until the half. This could be actually a very fast game if these long drives continue to happen. We could actually have a very short game here potentially. So we'll see. We're only 52 minutes into the live, and it feels like we're almost at halftime. Well, I agree with you on that regard. The Rams defense has been on the field for too long, but the Rams offense has also made the Seattle Seahawks work for it a little bit on those two drives, having to kick 2 field goals. So those drives were, you know, scoring drives as well. Let's see what the Rams defense can do on this one. "12 minutes until the half." Darnold's in the backfield. That's going to be a complete pass to midfield. 48-yard line. First and 10. Bullet right down the middle. And what's interesting to note is the Rams defense actually got close to Darnold on that one. That's probably the best breakthrough they've had so far. So there's a fumble in the backfield by Seattle. And we're talking about a botch snap. And that's what I'm talking about again, by the way. You want to talk about, how do I say this? You want to talk about those mistakes, those errors. Those are the breaks that the Rams need, right? You know, you get a couple of those. Big stage stuff now. 2nd and 19 after a fumble on the snap by Sam Darnold. That's the kind of break the Rams need. Now you got to hold them and not give up 19 yards in the next 2 plays. And the Rams are finally going to break through that Seattle Seahawks offensive line, and they sack Sam Darnold in the backfield. And this is what we were talking about today. Matthew Stafford, the more experienced of these two quarterbacks, Sam Darnold playing the biggest game of his life on the biggest stage, up to this point. Would the Rams be able to, would the Seahawks, would he be able to handle the pressure? And that's the kind of thing now. I'm going to guess the Seahawks are just going to run the ball here now and probably punt it. I can't imagine they're going to do anything crazy here, but I could be wrong. They are going to hand it off. And that's going to be a gain of about 4 yards. And the Rams are going to get the football back. And the Los Angeles Rams are going to get the football back, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Seattle's punting, and there will not be a rush to get to the punter. Oh, and the Rams botched the snap on the catch, but they get it back. That was very dumb by the Rams right there on the special teams. They should be grateful they did not fumble that. That was a huge break. So the Rams get 2 breaks. Ladies and gentlemen, they get 2 breaks. Here are the breaks. They get a break by the botched snap from Sam Darnold. And then they fumble the punt, but they hold on to it, thankfully. They're inside the 10. Rams are going to start the ball inside their own 10-yard line. Christian NXT One Review, covering Las Vegas and the world. So let's take a look. I like to look at these kinds of things. Let's just take a look. Let's see. So this coming week, starting today, the Las Vegas Market Winter Expo is taking place. Of course, at the expo itself, January 25th to the 29th. Home decor, all that kind of good stuff, furniture. That is what's taking place this week in the convention circuit in Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Market Winter 2026. So and I agree with you that the weather isn't even really that bad. I agree with that 100%. The weather is not even that bad in this game. You and me I could absolutely be out there on the sidelines in that Seattle. Right now, I could be out there and absolutely be tolerating that. It's probably similar weather to what we have right here now in Vegas. I could absolutely tolerate that. That would be absolutely tolerable. So I agree with you 100% on that front. What these guys are playing in is a nice warm weather event compared to what Denver and New England were playing in. They're just out there. Yeah, it's cold and chilly and windy, but there's no snow. There's nothing like that coming from the sky. It's just a cold day, so 100% agreed with you. This is nice weather. 9 minutes and 18 seconds to the half. Let's see what the Rams can do here. Nice run on first down by the Rams, about 7 yards. coming up. Corum with the run for the Rams. See if the Rams can, get another long extended drive moving along here. That's what you absolutely want to be doing. Want to get some more points on the board before the half. Yeah, you'd love to get a touchdown, but another field goal wouldn't be bad in this circumstance. But the key is to have another long extended drive here. Give your defense a break from the action as well. Second down run, that's going to be a first down for the Rams. 8 minutes and 30 seconds into the half. 10-6, Seattle over the Rams right now. Eight minutes until the half. Fast-moving game here. Absolutely a fast-moving game. We've only been here for an hour, and we're almost halfway through the second quarter. This has been absolutely a fast-moving game. That'll run up the middle to about their 30-yard line. Second and 5 coming up. That's going to be a pass for a first down. Again, moving the chains, having a long moving drive, keeping the Seattle Seahawks defense on the field. You got Matthew Stafford, who, again, arguably, again, a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Might be his last chance, knows how to manage one of these kinds of games. That's why he's been in the NFL for as long as he has. 6 minutes and 48 seconds of the half, first down there. Here's another drive. Here's another pass. Pass is up in the air. That's going to be caught inside the 45-yard line of Seattle. Nakua with the catch again. There you go. Good catch by Nakua. There you go. 1st and 10 on the 45 of Seattle. Again, if I'm the Rams, I don't want to be moving fast. I want to take my time with every play. Unless I can find a hole in my defense by doing a quick offensive play, there's no reason to be running a quick offense in this drive, in my opinion. Run up the middle by Seattle. That's going to be left at basically the line of scrimmage. 5 minutes and 55 seconds left until the half. Rams running up the middle. They're going to get a first down. They're going to be inside the 25-yard line. And the Los Angeles Rams are moving with a really impressive drive that started inside their own 10-yard line. Currently down 10-6. They are in scoring range again. And the Rams are showing us why, this looks like, again, the best football game of the year right now. Teams both having breaks. This seems like a fun game. Every play matters here. 4 minutes and 30 seconds of the half. The teams have almost equal amount of total yards. 149 for the Rams, 158 for the Seahawks. It's going to be about a 2-yard gain. Four minutes and 28 seconds left until the half here. 2nd and 8 coming up. First and 10 for the Rams. .241. Rams are going to take their first time out. Okay, 2nd and 8 for the Rams at the 10-yard line of Seattle. Second and 8, 2-minute warning. Can the Rams get a score before the half? Looks like they can get at least 3. Can they get a touchdown? Can they take the lead? What amazing it would be if the Rams were able to go to the half beating Seattle. We're going to see about that, but they got at least a chance to put 3 more on the board. Interesting times for sure right now. In Seattle, Seattle 10, Rams 6, Rams driving. The game has lived up to the expectations so far. It looked like the Rams were going to blow them out, but that's not going to be the case today. I don't think it's a lost drive. I think if it goes 10-9 to the half, I like the 10-9 score going to the half. That's just my opinion. I think if it goes to the half 10-9, I'd be pretty happy if I were the Rams. Obviously, I'd want the lead. I agree with that, but I don't mind 10-9. We'll see. We shall see. If they get the lead going to the half, that'd be unbelievable. I'd be happy if I were the Rams. Absolutely. I believe Seattle gets the ball first. Seattle gets the ball first as well. So, yeah, I understand the sense of urgency to want to have the lead at the half if I'm the Rams because the Seahawks get the ball first in the second half. I do agree with that. I thought the Rams had the ball first. Am I wrong? I guess I am. Statistics so far. Stafford 6 for 11. Devontae Adams 1 catch for 23 yards on the Rams offense. Let's see if they go to him here in the red zone. They are going to go to a wide open wide receiver and get a touchdown. That was not, that was Kyron Williams, the running back. That was not Devontae Adams, but touchdown Rams. Rams take the lead. And so there we go. Los Angeles takes the lead 12-10, pending the extra point. Seattle will have 1 minute and 55 seconds left here to come up with something and get this one moving along. See if they can match Seattle, match the Rams at least with a field goal. But the Rams, who looked a little off early, have gotten it together, and now it's 13-10. The kick is up. It's good. There you go. Los Angeles 13, Seattle 10. 1:55 left here in the till halftime here. So we've talked about cheap eats today. We talked about the Tough Enough. We've talked about the upcoming conventions in Las Vegas. Just give me a minute. I'm going to look up something here. Upcoming events at Allegiant Stadium. February 28th, the Rugby League returns to Las Vegas. If you're a fan of rugby, Allegiant Stadium, February 28th. Luke Combs comes to Las Vegas on March 21st, Allegiant Stadium. Bruno Mars is doing 2 concerts, not at Park MGM and Dolby Live where he usually does them. He'll be doing 2 concerts for his romantic tour at Allegiant on April 10th and 11th. So, and there you go on that front. Those are some of the upcoming events, non-football related at Allegiant Stadium. Of course, April, WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. 1:55 until the half. (13-10) right now. Rams are leading the Seahawks. Rams matching the Seahawks. Seahawks look great early. Rams have settled in. The veteran quarterback who's won the big game, Matthew Stafford, looking better for the Rams. What can the Seahawks do here with 1:55 until the half? We shall see if they're able to at least tie this going to the half. And Seattle does get the ball first to start the second half, as I had noted. Run play for Seattle on first down here. That's going to be approximately about 2 or 3 yards. Sam Darnold back in the pocket. That's incomplete. 3rd and 9 upcoming. The Rams have 2 timeouts remaining. If they're able to get the ball back and hold Seattle on the 3rd and 9 attempt here, big play for Seattle. They do get the ball first to start the second half, but you do not want to give the Rams a chance to put more points on the board before the half. You think the Rams got away with the defensive pass interference? I can give you that argument potentially. We've missed a face mask call today already. The officiating has not been great so far. Incomplete pass by the Seahawks on 3rd and 9. It's going to be 4th and 9, 1 minute and 41 seconds to go, going to the half here. 4th and 9 upcoming. It's an incomplete pass right there. Seattle punting the ball here. We'll see now. Don't have to say this very often, but Seattle's defense needs to come through here. They absolutely need to come through here before the half. You know, they haven't had a lot of pressure lately, 41-6 last week. Penalty flag on the special teams of Seattle. We'll see if they're going to make them re-kick here. Nope, they're going to give him some yards on the play. So we're going to go to a timeout here. My opinion, again, it hasn't been a pressure situation a lot for the Seahawks defense this year. They played phenomenal all the way through. But with this drive before the half, this is a very important moment for the Seattle Seahawks defense to hold the Rams to no points going to the half. That, I think, is very important at this moment right now. Christian XC1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. The New England Patriots have already advanced to the big game with a 10-7 victory today over the Denver Broncos. Who are they going to play? Well, we're watching live here from the entertainment capital of the world. The Seahawks and the Rams in the NFC Championship Game. Current score: Los Angeles 13-10 over Seattle. It's going to be an interesting second half. I think in the first quarter we thought that Seattle was just going to blow past the Rams, but the Rams have matched them. The first time these two teams played this year, the winner won by 2 points. That was the Rams. Then the second time these two teams played, the Seahawks won by a point. So 13-10 Rams right now. We're probably going to see a very interesting game that goes down to the wire if things stay the way they are. Won't doubt that. This is where we are right now. I think the winner of this game will be the NFL crown champion this year of them all. You know, they still have to play New England, but I think either of these teams will beat New England in the big game. So we'll see. But to me, this is arguably the best NFL game of the season right here, and that's why we're here with you today. We're on a commercial break. We'll see what the Rams can do with 2 timeouts remaining before we go to the half here. First down run is about 4 or 5 yards for the Rams. I'm kind of surprised the Rams did not throw there on first down. I'm not sure why you would be running the ball with 1:15 until the half. Doesn't really make any sense to me, but okay. Um, Incomplete pass by the Rams on second down. Now you're in a situation where if you don't get the first down, you give Seattle the ball back, and we're back where we started just a couple minutes ago. Third and 5 for the Rams here. See if there's a penalty flag on the field. Pass is incomplete by Matthew Stafford. Doesn't seem like there's going to be a penalty flag there. But the Rams called a timeout. So that play's not going to count. So they'll do it again in a minute. But yes, this third down could be an absolute game changer. Fair to say. Okay, sure. One of the things that that we don't talk about very much, you know, we talk a lot about, well, we do talk about UNLV sports, but if you're interested in seeing college basketball in action, of course, Thomas and Mack Center, University of Nevada, Las Vegas Rebels, college basketball. The Thomas and Mack Center will also be home again this year of the 2026 Mountain West Basketball Championship. Of course, the winner of that tournament advances to the NCAA tournament, March 7th through 14th. Thomas and Mack Center, Las Vegas, Mountain West Conference Championship. Combine all session package for $350. Incomplete pass, 4th and 5. Rams are going to punt the ball back, and Seattle has all 3 timeouts remaining. So we're going to be here a little while for this next minute. $54 seconds left to the half. Seattle's going to start their own 26-yard line, and we're going to take another commercial break, it looks like. Not sure why we're taking so many commercial breaks here with the 54 seconds left, but we move on. Thomas and Mack Center, UNLV basketball, ongoing thing if you're interested in collegiate basketball in Las Vegas. UNLV currently sitting in 6th place in the Mountain West Conference. Rebels are currently 10-9 in the season with a 5-3 record in the Mountain West Conference, by the way. Seattle can be aggressive because they have all 3 timeouts remaining. I do agree with that. Okay, we've got 50 seconds left until the half here. Okay, 54 seconds left until the half here. Seattle is at their own 25-yard line. Let's see what they can do here with 3 timeouts remaining. Pass complete for a first down to number 11. That's going to move the ball. First and 10, 49 seconds left for Seattle to the half. Nice catch indeed. Almost an interception there on first and 10. Second and 10 coming up now for the Seattle offense. Trying to get at least a field goal to tie it to go to the half. Got 44 seconds remaining here. Sam Darnold and company trying to get into scoring range against this Rams defense. NFC Championship Game, Los Angeles, 44 seconds left to the half. Beating Seattle 13-10. Passes up in the air, and that's caught. Throwing a bullet to number 11 there inside the Seattle 30-yard line. That's going to be Seattle's first timeout there. What a catch by number 11. Open between 2 defenders. That was too easy. The speed of the Seattle Seahawks offense was absolutely there. Perfect play call. Wow, indeed, Tom. Perfect play call by the Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator. The Seahawks will have a chance to at least tie this going to the half, if not take the lead. Long pass from Sam Darnold there. First and 10 at the 27-yard line. And that's a pass. That's going to be a first down. Seattle probably will take their second time out. Their first and goal now for the Seahawks. Seahawks now have a chance to get a touchdown before the half. And the Seahawks get the ball first the second half too. So advantage Seattle right now. You get a score here. You can get another score to start the second half. Things can change very quickly in that case. So, but agreed, the Rams defense has not played the greatest performance so far, but I agree with you 100% that try to hold them to a field goal here. This is one of those moments where you really have to try to hold to a field goal if you can. Penalty flag on the field. False start on Seattle. The Rams are going to have an extra 5 yards to work with here. So Rams have that going for them. 30 seconds left to the half. Rams 13, Seattle 10. Let's say that the fact is a lot of people might say that these last couple of minutes have been long, but commercials and the fact that Seattle had all 3 of their timeouts remaining has made this much longer than it needed to be. That's for sure. I agree with that. But Seattle only has 1 timeout remaining here. 25 seconds here. Darnold's back in the backfield. He's going to get some help from his offensive line. He's going to throw that up, and that's going to be a touchdown pass. Touchdown Seattle. Jackson Smith with the touchdown. And the Seahawks are going to take the lead before the half with 20 seconds remaining, 16-13. We talked about this in the first quarter. Through the first quarter of play, the Seattle Seahawks offensive line deserved an A+ for protecting Sam Darnold. This quarter, I give them a B. Darnold was sacked earlier in this quarter. They did just give him enough time to throw that one up to a wide open receiver. That gives the Seahawks a touchdown and the lead back. It's now 16-13. Seattle, the kick is up, and it's good. 17-13, 20 seconds remaining in the half. Rams do have a timeout remaining. It'll be interesting to see if the Rams attempt, and I emphasize attempt, to try to get something here before the half. But Seattle gets the ball first in the second half too, so the Rams are going to have to make some defensive adjustments at the half. If they give out a touchdown to start the second half, Seattle may be on their way to the big game. This is a very challenging circumstance the Rams have put themselves in. They are capable of stopping the Seahawks, obviously, to begin the second half. But question now comes down to, what do the Rams want to do? What do the Rams want to do with this last 20 seconds until the half? Jackson Smith has 7 catches for 115 yards so far for the Seahawks offense. Rams are going to return it to about the 29-yard line. 15 seconds left in the half. Only 90-minute first half has actually been pretty quick in this regard. See if the Rams do attempt to do something here. They have a timeout remaining. Stafford is in the back. He is going to throw a long one here. He's going to throw one over the middle, actually. That gets the Rams to the 42-yard line. I'd probably call a timeout. 8 seconds remaining. Does Matthew Stafford have the arm to get that to the end zone? I think he does, but maybe I'm wrong. Can he get it to the end zone? Maybe if you get about 10 more yards on the sideline pass, maybe attempt that. I think you're too far for a field goal. You need about 20 yards and a sideline pass, which is going to be much harder with 8 seconds remaining. I'd probably throw for 10, try to get out of bounds, and then throw it to the end zone, and let's see what the Hail Mary comes up with. I think that's what you're looking at here. And Seattle is going to take a timeout, it looks like. That's their final timeout. So Seattle's going to be cautious. See what the Rams can do here. Christian XCY review covering Las Vegas and the world. We're 8 seconds until the half. Seattle 17, Los Angeles 13. This is where we are right now. Be interesting to see where we go. I think that Seattle is just wanting to make sure that they've got their defense set up, because they know that Stafford's going to throw the ball down the field. You don't want to have any penalties here pass interference would be the worst possible thing here because those are spot fouls. So, again, you're just trying to make sure that you don't do anything stupid, I think. Stafford's going to throw one up. Stafford is going to have a chance to run the football here. That's going to be the end of the half. There's a fumble on the play. Seattle has the football. The Rams need to tackle. The Rams need to tackle, but the ball is rolled down on the field. That's not going to count. That's going to be the end of the half. So Rams get lucky there, fortunately, at the end. Stafford took a bad hit. The ball came loose, but they're going to rule him down by contact. We're halftime in Seattle, the NFC Championship game. Seattle scored 3 out of the 5 drives in the first half. 17-13 Seattle over the Rams. We're at the halftime of the NFC Championship game. We'll put that in the chat. Halftime here. We are 30 minutes away from finding out who will face the New England Patriots in Santa Clara, California, the 49ers Stadium, for the big game. Earlier today, New England Patriots 10, Denver 7. Denver working with a backup quarterback. Terrible conditions, tons of snow. Broncos missed a field goal to end. Seahawks, Christianic, C1 review, Las Vegas here. Aside from the fact that, again, as we talked about earlier in the broadcast, the cheapest ticket to go to the big game right now in California is $6,200. Well, you could come to Las Vegas for a couple hundred and stay in a nice resort and watch the big game, right? There's plenty of parties. There's going to be some past years. There's been NFL greats hosting some of these parties, former NFL players like Bo Jackson, for example. There'll be more of that this year, I'm sure, at some of the resorts, and we will obviously, we'll obviously be giving you reports on that as we get closer. We'll break down all the things, $6,200, So, I said this though, for those of you who are, if you're a New England Patriots fan and you're a diehard and you can afford to do that, you're probably buying your ticket immediately. Most people probably are if they want to get a certain seat. So I said that probably today is the worst day to buy a ticket to the big game if you're a fan of either of the teams that make it. And you probably want to wait a little bit longer to see if the market will fluctuate out. And I think last minute you can grab a ticket as well. But the reality of what it comes down to at the end of the day is that watching here in one of the big resorts on a huge, gigantic, big screen, gigantic screen, whether you're downtown or you're the Las Vegas Strip or resort off, this is the place to come if you want a good Super Bowl experience, in my opinion. There are prices for everybody here in Las Vegas. The Plaza is doing a free watch party again this year in downtown. Other resorts will do some free watch parties as well. You get a much better view of the game, much better amenities. You can get up from your seat when you want to. You can order food and all kinds of things to your seat. Don't have to worry about walking up and down a bunch of stairs. So, we mentioned earlier that the events around the game are more exciting in the main city sometimes than the game itself as well. So, but again, I'm sure there are plenty of fans of the Rams and Seahawks, because we're here on the West Coast, that live here. There are probably people from Washington State and California who live in Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world. So for them, they got Las Vegas. I don't know how many Patriots fans are here from the East Coast who live here, probably less than those two teams. But with that being said, you should look at the entertainment capital of the world. There's no better place. People always talk about there's no better place to watch the NCAA tournament, March Madness, than Las Vegas. There is no better place to watch the biggest football game of the year than Las Vegas, because $6,200 and above is out of range for most people, obviously, for sure. So that's that. And now we are Let's just take a look at something here. You know. Now we're, a couple months away from the NFL draft, and the Las Vegas Raiders will be on the clock. They are on the clock already. First pick in the NFL draft. But you could call watching the big game in the entertainment capital of the world February Madness, and I agree with that as well. So, again, whether you're watching in the live or the recorded version, thank you so much. C1 Review, Las Vegas, the most exciting city in the world. Go over to the main channel. If you haven't heard it yet, go watch our report of the Las Vegas-based Combat Sports Promotion League. Tough Enough had their 151st event at the Palms Casino Resort on Thursday night, this past Thursday night. There's a full report. Go over to the video section on the front page, the main page of C1 Interview here on YouTube. Go watch that. And number two, cheap food in Las Vegas. Where are the meals under $20 in Las Vegas? $15 and even $10. Go over, you can watch that over on the main channel as well. I was also informed that potentially that Siegel's 1941 at the El Cortez Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas may be closing that restaurant in March or April. I heard that this week, not sure. Haven't validated that, but I read some comments on that. Someone saw our video. So you may have a limited time left to get that prime rib dinner for $20 in downtown. So that's just something to take note of as well. So I don't know anything about that, Tom. It's a good question. Something to look into. I'm sure we can look that up. But point be told, I know the Raiders want Mendo. I think, obviously, it'll be a splash. Will it make a huge difference to the organization? I'm not sure, but it will be a splash pick. And it's business, but you would like the team to be better, obviously, if you're a Las Vegas Raiders fan, of course, obviously. So we're going to take a 2-minute break here since it's at the half, and we'll be right back. And we'll get ready for the second half here with the Seahawks and the Rams. We're 30 minutes away from finding out who is going to be playing the New England Patriots. My prediction, though, is that the winner of this game will win the biggest game of the year. I don't think New England will be able to beat either of these teams. Just my opinion. I think it'll be too much for New England. I think Mike Vrabel, who is a past C1 Review guest when he was a New England Patriots player, who is now the head coach of the New England Patriots, I think he deserves all the credit in the world, and he should be considered AFC Coach of the Year. I know that you like the Bears coach more, Tom, but I know there aren't division coaches or conference coach of the years, but if there were, Vrabel deserves the AFC Coach of the Year, if not the entire Coach of the Year award considerations for what he did with New England this year. New England had 4 victories last year, and now they're going to the biggest game of the year. That is impressive. I didn't think they'd get there. I didn't think they'd be good enough to get there. In the playoffs, when you get to the playoffs, it's just a matter of finding a way to win in advance, and they did that. So I give New England all the credit in the world. I was not a believer. I still am not a believer that they could win the big game. I wasn't a believer they could get there, but congratulations on getting there. They did prove me wrong for sure. Did they have an easy path? You can debate that. The Chargers, never good in the playoffs. Texans, never good in the playoffs. Denver loses Bo Nix, their starting quarterback. The Broncos have to go with a backup quarterback today, lose 10-7. Did the Broncos win today if they have Bo Nix? Maybe. That's sad. If you're a Broncos fan, that is a sad state of affairs. That you can win every game but one, and your quarterback gets hurt in the most important game of the year. I mean, we could have had Denver in the Super Bowl instead, potentially. I agree with that. So that is kind of a sad moment. But New England found a way to scrape by and get through, and all the power to them. And so, but definitively, I think whoever wins this game today, which I think is the best football game of the year right here, we're watching right now, the Rams and Seahawks from Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world. I think that this is the game of the year right here, and the winner of this game will be the champion. Will be the champion of the league. So we'll see, for sure. I think so, though. We'll be right back. We'll take a couple-minute break, and we'll be right back before the second half begins. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back just in time for the second half. We took our break. You took your break. We are 30 minutes away from finding out who's going to play the New England Patriots in the biggest football game of the year. Christian NXT wanted to be in Las Vegas. Whether you're watching live or recorded, thank you so much for joining in today. We're watching the biggest game of the year. It's a good one, for sure. Seattle's going to start at their own 20-yard line. Going to put them at the 25, run about 5 yards there. If Seattle were to get a touchdown here, I'd be concerned if I were the Rams. So, got to come out and play some good defense. Got to come out and play some good defense if I'm the Rams here. First down, Sam Darnold. Taking a look here. So something to note about Las Vegas and both of these teams, of course, Nacua, Mr. Nacua is, Puka Nacua, is actually a Las Vegas native. In case you didn't know that, of course, former Los Angeles Rams running back Steven Jackson is also from Las Vegas. He played his college football at Oregon State. And of course, Marshawn Lynch, Marshawn, of course, Las Vegas, has played in Las Vegas, though he's not from here. He does live here, or he had lived here at one point in recent years as well. Former Seattle Seahawks running back. So there's some Las Vegas connections for both of these teams. So I think the Rams defense just needs to find a way to not allow some points in this board. There's going to be a third down upcoming here, and this is going to be a penalty flag on the field. We may get a holding penalty here. Let's see what this is. Christian NXT One Review covering Las Vegas and the world. Yep, Tom, you would know that better than I would as a long-time Nevadan here. I've been here 8 years, but you've been here your whole life. But well said. Great running back in his career. Felt like there were some missed potentially possibles for Steven Jackson, but absolutely 100% in that regard. I agree with you 100%. He went to El Dorado High School here in Las Vegas. Former Rams great. Third and 12 for Seattle here. See if the Rams can hold here. And the Rams are going to be able to sack Sam Darnold in the backfield. That was a huge sack. Agreed, 100%, Tom. Kind of stuff you need. Getting a little water there. Seattle's punting the football. Did he just fumble that? He did. And the Rams fumble the punt. Why don't you just let that football go? Special teams mistake by the Rams is going to let Seattle cash in a way that I have to tell you, some of the awareness in some of these big games, you know, these are professionals who make millions of dollars. I just sometimes wonder about some of these common sense judgment plays. Unbelievable indeed. I do not get it. I really don't get it, honestly, to tell you the truth. Why not just let that ball go? I mean, you're inside the 10-yard line. You're not returning it for a touchdown. Rams have buried themselves now. First and goal for Seattle. You get the defensive stop you need. Then you got to put them back on the field. Seattle's at the 17-yard line. Now you got to hold to a field goal. But dumb mistake by the Rams special teams. That's going to be a touchdown, just like that, points off turnovers. Touchdown, Seattle. Jake Bobo with the touchdown there. The wow, just wow is the correct comment, Tom. 23-13, Seattle over the Rams right now. This is why I believe if Seattle ends up winning today, there's no way New England's going to win that game. There's just no way. Seattle's just got too many weapons, too many different players who can step up at any given moment. The Seattle Seahawks offense has built a great a great offense and a great set of players around Sam Darnold. 24-13, Seattle over the Rams. 12 minutes left here in the third quarter. Put that in the chat. I don't know why you're doing that. Why not just let the ball go? Don't bury your team. Updated score, Seattle 24, Los Angeles 13. While we're sitting here, I'm going to go take a look at something because I'm curious. If we're talking about something, I'm going to look something up here before I mention it. Take a look at something here. Okay, 1 minute. So let's say I wanted to be a travel agent for a couple of moments. Let's say you're a Seattle Seahawks fan. You can't afford to go to Santa Clara and you want to watch the big game in Las Vegas. You can book a flight right now for $300. That flight would be between Friday to Monday, February 6th to February 9th. Now, if I change it, let's say I can get off work on Monday, just Monday. I can go from the 7th to the 9th for like $200 approximately. So I can fly from Seattle to Las Vegas for $200 to $300 over those Friday, Monday calendar. I could then probably stay at a resort for maybe about $300 or $400. I could watch my team for $700. Yeah, that's a lot cheaper than $6,200. Yeah, there'll be some food in between, but my point be told is you could make a Vegas vacation work for about $800 to $900, maybe the tops, if you're not crazy. And if you go to the cheap eats place in my YouTube video, possible. So Come to Las Vegas. Watch the biggest game of the year. That's what I have to say about that. Rams got to get something going on this drive. Rams have got to get something going on this drive. Rams have got to get something going on this drive. 11:56 until the half here. I mean, until the game's over, until the end of the third quarter. Stafford's in the backfield. He's going to throw a pass that's complete to number 84. They're going to be down to the 45-yard line of Seattle. The Rams need a touchdown here. Rams need a touchdown. Rams need a touchdown. And the Rams, they need a touchdown. Additionally, if you're flying from Boston, Massachusetts to Las Vegas on Friday, February 6th with a return date of February 9th, Monday, you can fly round trip for $300 as well. So it's the same price, whether you're a Seattle fan, New England fan. We can do Los Angeles. That'll be cheaper, obviously. But, you know, if you're a fan of these two teams and you live in the city itself, there are absolutely opportunities for a great big game experience without going to the big game itself here in Las Vegas. 2nd and 6 for the Rams. The Rams are already in field goal range at least here. That is a positive. Stafford throws. Going to be inside the 3-yard line there. Davante Adams with the catch. 1st and goal. This may be the last chance for Davante Adams. Can't take it for granted, obviously. Amazing that Davante is still in the NFL after all these years. Feel like he's getting his last run like Odell Beckham Jr. did when he won the Super Bowl with the Rams a couple years ago. 1st and goal. Stafford in the backfield, throws to the end zone. That's going to be a touchdown to Davante Adams. So the Los Angeles Rams have answered finally and looked good on that drive. And here's my response. Don't make stupid mistakes. Don't make stupid mistakes on special teams. 24-19 now, Seattle over the Rams. Both these teams just look better and good, and this is going to be still a lot to be decided. 9 minutes and 41 seconds left here in the third quarter. I don't know. Would you go for 2? Is it too early to go for that 2-point conversion? Kick is up. It's good. 24-20. Seattle over the Rams right now. So we got Seattle 24, Los Angeles 20. And so we'll do the final one, though we know it already, just to talk about if I was a travel agent. Los Angeles to Vegas, the 6th to the 9th. $99. So if I lived in Los Angeles, if I would have lived in Los Angeles and I wanted to come to Vegas to watch the biggest game of the year, $99 round trip. I probably could do a week for like, I don't know, $500 or $600, depending on where you stay. And again, go to that Cheap Eats video. Eat at those places in town. Some of them are adjacent to the Strip. Some of them are in downtown. There's opportunities. There's plenty of opportunities for all of it. Christian XT1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. NFL Live reaction, NFC Championship Game, Los Angeles versus Seattle. We're here with you, ladies and gentlemen. We've been here since September. We thank you for your ongoing support of us. Whether you're watching in the live version or the recorded version, thank you so much. Whether you watch a minute, 10 minutes, an hour, 10 hours, or 100 hours, your support is great. We appreciate it. C1 review here in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is fastest growing multimedia outlet. We are watching the Rams and the Seahawks. Who's going to play New England in the biggest game of the year? Well, doesn't seem like we know yet at this moment in time. So we're going to keep watching and see. So, but I think so far, what's disappointing to me today is the missed penalties by the refs and some of the special teams by the Rams. Didn't fumble that first punt return, fumbled the second. I thought that was disappointing. And again, I feel like these basic fundamental things are lost in the game of football today and on the biggest stage. And it just seems so sloppy. You know, like you can't be fumbling a punt in the NFC Championship game and giving them. That's like something you have when Alabama is playing like Alcorn State in their cupcake game in August, you know, at the beginning of a college football season. You don't do stuff like that. It's not acceptable, right? So my humble opinion is that it's just kind of like, don't do that. Don't make those dumb mistakes that are going to cost your team in the conference championship game of all things, right? Those things just can't be done. They can't be done. So Rams got to play defense now. Rams have got to play defense now, ladies and gentlemen. They have got to play defense. Nothing for the Seattle Seahawks on first down. It's going to be like about 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9 upcoming. 9 minutes and 26 seconds left in the third, 2nd and 7. The Rams do need to stop in a big way. I agree with you about that 100%. Need to stop in a big way. Looks like we're going to get 3rd down. Big play here for the Rams. 8 minutes and 40 seconds left. 3rd and 9. 3rd and 9 upcoming. And Seattle's going to get that first down. So the drive's going to continue. About an 11-yard pass there. Seattle's going to push that forward. That's going to be a run of about 11 yards. I'm guessing that's Kenneth Walker down there in the pile. 7 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Nice run by the Seahawks. Rams defense has got to be tired. Another pass. It's about 9 yards. Seattle's at about the 31-yard line of the Rams. Christianic C1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. Live NFL reaction. NFC Championship Game is currently going on right now between the Rams and the Seahawks. Who will play New England in the biggest game of the year? We're going to know in about an hour or so. Then afterwards, we'll have about a 10-minute final analysis before we wrap the day up here at C1 Review in Las Vegas. Thank you so much for all of you who have joined us today. First down for Seattle inside the 19-yard line. Sam Darnold completing another pass to Jackson Smith. They have to find a way to hold them to a field goal. I agree. I think that's very important right now. I don't have any disagreements with you on that one. Five minutes and 45 seconds left here in the third. Both these teams have all 3 timeouts remaining still. Five minutes and 15 seconds left, 2nd and 3. Incomplete pass, 3rd and 3 coming up. This is the down right here for the Rams to hopefully hold Seattle to a field goal. This is it right here. 4 minutes and 57 seconds left here in the third. Third and 3, 4:57. What can Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks offense come up for this one? Darnold's in the backfield. He's going to throw. He's going to get that pass, and he's going to get a touchdown. And again, the Seattle Seahawks offensive line gives Sam Darnold enough time to throw the football to the end zone to Cooper Kupp, the former Rams wide receiver, as Tom had mentioned a couple minutes ago. Touchdown Seattle, 30-20. Seattle over the Rams, 4:52 left in third. Still a lot of time left, but at some point, the Rams have got to come up with defense. I just tell you again, those dumb mistakes with the special teams are why the Rams are in the hole that they're in right now, trying to catch up. 30-20 Seattle. Just not very good. Extra point coming. Kick is up. It's good. 31-20 Seattle over the Rams. Put that in the chat. 4:52 left in the third. Still a lot of time left here. I'm going to take a 1-minute break, and I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. I think if we do end up getting Seattle, I don't think anybody is going to be surprised by that, if that makes sense. You know, I don't think anyone's going to be surprised if we end up getting Seattle. I think Seattle could blow the doors off New England in a hot minute. if it ends up being Seattle. We still got some time left. Never say never for the Rams, but Seattle is maybe the best team in the NFL. I mean, get their second championship in the last 15 years. Pretty incredible effort by the Seahawks all season, and not with a top. I don't think Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold is a top 16, top 50% quarterback, top of the league, one half top. But people aren't going to say that Sam Darnold's better than a bunch of other quarterbacks in the NFL. They're just not going to say that. The weapons in the team that they have built around Sam Darnold has been quite impressive. Jackson Smith and Kenneth Walker III and Cooper Kupp, obviously, again. And kind of, it's just, there's a bunch of different weapons and it just seems, again, like an all-around team effort. And I can't tell you. Tom was on Seattle back like in October, and I was just like, I don't buy it. I'm just not buying into it. And I admit when I'm wrong. I was absolutely wrong. And just incredible stuff, though. And I admit, though, I hadn't watched a lot of Seattle this year, but I had been looking at the stats and some of the highlights, and I just thought to myself, I felt like that was one of these teams that, again, they don't have the greatest quarterback in the world, and at some point someone's going to eat them alive. But that obviously is not the case, obviously, in this regard. But again, the NFC West, all of the teams in the NFC West, the 49ers, the Rams, they knocked out the division champions of the other three divisions in the NFC. So it shows you who is the best division. The NFC West is definitively the best division in football in the NFL. And again, I thought to myself, I don't know about Seattle, but it's kind of interesting to see where we are right now. And again, I don't think New England has got the tools to beat Seattle. I don't think so at all. I think Seattle probably gets their revenge for the Super Bowl they lost to New England, on the play that everybody regrets. I think probably Seattle is going to get their revenge on that front. So we'll see. But we got 4:45 left here still, and the Rams still have a chance, obviously. There's plenty of time left. There's almost 20 minutes left in this game, so there's still that potential possibility. Stafford throws downfield. He's going to throw to a wide open Devontae Adams for about 40 yards. 4 minutes and 35 seconds left here. There's a nice pass of about 4 or 5 yards. First and 10 for the Rams. Again, it's not about whether the Rams can score points or not. It's a matter of, can that defense hold the Seattle Seahawks offense in check here. They're at their 47-yard line right now. Yeah, I think a field goal's not. I think while a field goal makes it a one-possession game, it just makes it a little bit harder every drive, right? Christian XC1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. We're getting to the end of the third quarter in the NFC Championship game. We're watching it live with you. Rams Seahawks. Got a penalty flag. See what the penalty flag is. Got an illegal hands to the face on the Rams. That's not going to help the Rams cause. We're going to repeat second down here with a bigger deficit of yards needed for a first down. Second and 15 to be exact. Don't know why you're running the ball there, but okay. 3rd and 12 coming up for the Rams. This is a big play here. Incomplete pass. Rams are going to have to punt the football, unfortunately. I don't think you're going for it at this point. If the Seattle Seahawks get another touchdown, that'll bookend this game. Then we'll be talking about what we can expect in 2 weeks. But they're going to take a timeout, I think. There's timeout on the field for some reason. It's a penalty flag. The Rams just got a bailout. Was that a taunting penalty? And Seattle just made a dumb call. And there's a penalty flag for that. So the Rams are going to get bailed out in a way that, wow, again, the mistakes in this game are amazing, honestly. First down and 10 for the Rams. To the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Puka Nacua from Las Vegas with the catch there. Dumb pays, dumb calls, and that's a touchdown for the Rams. And it feels like we're playing a video game here, ladies and gentlemen. 31-26. Puka Nacua with a touchdown from Las Vegas has put the Rams back in this game. I mean, you have a 4th and 10 on the field. You just have to get off the field and not do anything dumb, no unsportsmanlike conduct. And that Seattle defender couldn't help himself. And look at that. And the Rams on the next play get a touchdown to the end zone. Puka Nacua with a touchdown. Unbelievable. That's like some video game. It's pretty incredible what we're seeing here today. I just have to tell you, sloppy play all around. The special teams, the dumb penalties. Yep, both these teams can score, and they put up some exciting offense, and it's fun to watch, and there's no denying that. But not a clean game so far today. Just not a clean game overall. That's what I have to say about that as we get to the 4th quarter here. Christian XC1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. Scoring review in the Seahawks and Rams game. Should be a touchdown. If not, Puka Nacua should have taken the Rams down to the 1-inch yard line. We'll wait and see for the review on that. But looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I think it's probably the time to go for the 2-point conversion. I agree with that. I think that's a fair statement. It is a fair statement that it's probably time to go for the 2-point conversion. First, you got to get in the end zone and you got to get it counted. If they're at the 1-yard line, they still got to get the touchdown. And then if they get the touchdown, it's getting really exciting here, though. It is getting really exciting in this one. It felt like that Seattle was going to pull away, but it's gotten back closer again. We're going to have an interesting fourth quarter, but we should. This is, again, to me, this is supposed to be the best football game of the year. We should. So, yeah. But I don't know. You know how they are. I mean, listen, they missed a face mask penalty today. We had a face mask penalty that was missed today. I mean, that wasn't acceptable in my opinion. So, either way, whatever happens here, we will get a rematch of teams in the Super Bowl. We have had the Rams and the Patriots in the past, and we have had the Seahawks and the Patriots in the past. So we are not getting a new Super Bowl matchup this year, by the way. This will be a repeat of a past Super Bowl matchup, irrespective of whoever wins today in this NFC Championship game. Christian XC1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Really appreciate that. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. We're getting close to the fourth quarter of play. And we've got 31-26 potentially, depending on that. We're waiting for the scores here. We're going to double check that, obviously, but we're getting there. We are getting there. Let's see. It looks like they probably scored because Puka Nacua is on the sidelines. So I think he's in. I mean, I don't think he dropped the ball. So here's the point. He maintained possession of the ball all the way through. He hit the pylon. So that should be a touchdown. I don't understand what they're reviewing there, honestly. To me, that makes all the sense in the world, and I agree with you. And they're going to count it. But they're going for the extra point. And I would go for 2 at this point, too. I don't see it either. It's time to make it a 1-score game. Kick is up, and it's good. 31-27 now. Seattle over the Rams. 2 minutes and 6 seconds left. We talked about this earlier today in the first quarter. Would this game be high scoring and these defenses would fall apart, or would it be low scoring and it would be a defensive fair? I didn't think there would be anything in between. And obviously the defenses have fallen apart in this game with these 2 great offenses. Let's put in the chat. Seattle 31 and Los Angeles 27. So, but this is the kind of NFL football game that, you always look forward to. A lot of points, back and forth. This game has lived up to its expectations so far. Got 2 minutes and 6 seconds left in the third. The fourth quarter is going to be an interesting one, it looks like. And 5 plays and 87 yards with the Puka Nacua and a touchdown lost from Las Vegas with that catch. 2 minutes and 6 seconds left here. Going to be a very tight fourth quarter potentially here. Rams got to the Seattle reception here. Yeah, this is going to be, I don't care what anyone says, this will end up being better than the biggest game of the year, irrespective. There's no debate in that conversation. This is the best football game of the year. New England, to me, again, we're going to go over this in the post show. I've got a couple of thoughts for the last 10 minutes after the game is officially over. We'll do our week in review. Got review 1 game for 2 weeks from now, but after this is over, the game's over today. I've got a couple of thoughts before we'll end the broadcast this evening here. C1 review Las Vegas. That's where we are. Running play here for Seattle in the backfield. Rams defense kind of met that one. They were ready for that. Only a gain of about 2 yards. 1 minute and 48 seconds left here. Good defense by the Rams, agreed, on that first play. 2nd and 10 coming up. Rams have got to get 2 more. The Rams can get 2 more. We got an interesting drive and a chance to take the lead. Rams screw up special teams. Seattle screws up penalties. A lot of dumb choices by both teams today that have cost both these teams. But here we are. We've got 4-point differential. We got a minute 20 left. The first two games during the regular season for these teams were exciting, and this one looks like it's going to be exciting too, going into the fourth quarter here. Sam Darnold's in the backfield here. The Rams defense is going to get to him this time, and Darnold's just going to throw it away. 3rd and 10 upcoming. This is a big play here for the Los Angeles Rams defense, the kind of play that makes a difference. If they can hold here and get off the field, I'm excited if I'm the Rams, because the Seahawks defense has got to be tired. This is a big play for the Rams defense right now. Gigantic play. They can redeem themselves in so many ways if they are able to hold the Seahawks here. 3rd and 10 upcoming. 1 minute 8 seconds left in the third quarter. Here we go. Let's take a look and see what happens here. Stafford's in the backfield. He's going to throw it, and they're going to get that first down barely. It's going to be close to the marker, actually. I think he got it. I don't know if they're going to measure that. I think they're going to. Maybe. I think he jumped over the first down marker there. But that's the kind of pass that you have to make in big case situations right there. They are going to give him the first down. Tough break for the Rams defense. Got to go again now, 1st and 10. Got to repeat that scenario. "25 seconds left. Darnold is scrambling. It's going to be about a 4 or 5 yard pass there. That's going to take us to the end of the third quarter. 10 seconds left. I don't see another play happening. We played 3 in Seattle. NFC Championship Game, arguably the best game of the professional football season, is taking place right now. We're watching it from Las Vegas. The entertainment crap of the world. Christianic CY interview. Las Vegas' fastest growing multimedia outlet. Thank you so much for being here live with us. We got 15 minutes left. Let's go over this again. So again, $6,200 to go to the biggest game of the year. We did some flight routes. I'm not a travel agent. I disclaim that. But we did some flight routes, and I checked. If you were coming Friday before the Super Bowl and leaving on the Monday after the Super Bowl from Las Vegas, you're a Rams fan from Los Angeles, $99. If you're a Seattle Seahawks fan from Seattle, anywhere between $200 to $300. If you come on Saturday to Monday, I think it can be cheaper. And if you're a New England Patriots fan coming all the way from Boston, Massachusetts, $300. Get a hotel for a couple days, maybe make that $600. Go watch the Cheap Eats video and go to Ellis Island and El Cortez and the suches and get cheap food there during your trip. I don't know, maybe you can make it work for, $800 to $900, maybe less than that again, $700, $800, depending on what you're doing for a couple days. If you're just coming out to watch the big game, but there's absolutely opportunity to come to see maybe do a trip to watch the biggest game of the year and have that experience for 20% of the price just for the ticket. Of course, obviously, hotels are going to be through the roof, obviously, in the Santa Clara area for the biggest game of the year as well. So Las Vegas, the place to watch the biggest game of the year, March Madness, the NCAA tournament, February Madness. I think we're going to call it February Madness. Maybe we'll do a discussion on that upcoming. February Madness in Las Vegas. It has been born here on CY Interview, watching the biggest football game of the year here in the entertainment capital of the world. I've watched the game in numerous resorts over the years and have gone through different resorts while the big game is going on. There is nothing like it. It is unbelievable how so many people are excited about that stuff, for sure. So no denying that. Got 15 minutes left. After the 15 minutes are over, we'll do our last of the year. Before the biggest game of the year, we'll do our last review of the entertainment capital of the world. From the entertainment capital of the world, we'll do our last review. Looking forward to who will play the New England Patriots. We'll tell you what my thoughts are about the Patriots' chance to win that game. I think that they won't, but we're going to look at some potential possibilities. 2nd and 5 for the Seahawks as we start the fourth quarter play. 15 minutes left. They're at their own 42-yard line. They're going to get a first down here. Sam Darnold's going to run it by himself, and he'll get the first down. Here's a sack in the backfield of about 15 or 20 yards. That is going to be one of the few breaks for the Rams defense. Darnold got pounded in the backfield there on that one. It's going to be about 2nd and 25, maybe. Maybe we'll get 2nd and 22. Clean tackle to the ground. I don't know what Sam Darnold was doing there, and that was my big question, is how would he be able to handle the big game moment of his career? And that's the kind of thing where a 9-yard loss, 2nd and 19, but Rams got bailed out there. Can they hold? Can they hold now and get off the field? 2nd and 19, Darnold in the backfield. He's going to pass there. Going to be about 3rd and 11, I'm going to guess. Big play again. Rams have another chance to get off the field here. Rams have another chance to get off the field. Let's see what the 3rd and 15. Let's see what the Rams defense can do on this one. Oh, gonna have a penalty flag there. I think that's offsides. Dumb play call by the Rams defense to make this a little bit easier. It's now going to be 3rd and 9 for the Seahawks against the Rams. Dumb penalty. See if the Rams can still get off the field. 12:49 left here in the 4th quarter, 31-27 Seattle. 3rd and 10 now upcoming. Incomplete pass. There are no penalty flags on the field. The Rams defense has gone off the field finally. They did not allow Seattle to score any points. The Rams will get the ball back. We've got a new game, ladies and gentlemen. We're back to square one. Nice tip out by Durant, the Rams defender, from that ball being caught. And Seattle's going to punt the football. 12:24 left here in the 4th quarter. Let's see what the Rams can do. Fair catch called for. Well, they got off the field. I don't think you were very hopeful there. Game is living up to its expectations, ladies and gentlemen. This game is living up to its expectations. 12 minutes, 18 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Taking a break here in Las Vegas. Again, this week. Let's talk. Just let me look at something here. Jay Leno is coming back to town. He'll be at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, the former host of The Tonight Show, of course. February 21st, Jay Leno comes to Las Vegas. February 21st. That'll be at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. As far as upcoming stars and headliners that are coming to the entertainment capital of the world. Demi Lovato will be coming to the MGM Grand Garden Arena on May 8th as well as part of her It's Not That Deep tour. So there's some of the upcoming events coming to the MGM Grand Garden Arena. I think it is a very important possession for the Rams. I could not be more right. It might be the most important possession of their entire NFL season. I think you may be right about that one for sure. If the Rams are able to get a score here, the last 5 minutes of this game is going to be phenomenally interesting. I'll say that much. So, if the Rams are able to get a score here, the last 5 minutes will be absolutely interesting. Rams are going to start from their own 10-yard line here. Got a good run for about 11 yards. I'm guessing that's Kyren Williams on the field. It's not Kyren Williams. It's the other running back for the Los Angeles Rams. So that's a good run of 11 yards, first down. That's a good start. The Rams have all the time in the world here. They can throw the ball 5 yards at a time. They can run the ball 5 yards at a time. As long as they keep getting first downs and moving down the field, it does not matter. They can take as much time as they want here, since there's 11 minutes left and they got 3 timeouts. So no reason to rush. Pass over the middle. There's another pass for about 15 yards. It's going to be a first down. Rams are moving the ball a little bit now. They're up to about their own, I think, 35-yard line. 2 first downs on 2 plays. 11 minutes and 22 seconds left. $382 yards for the Rams, 352 yards for the Seahawks. Stafford throws again, another one down the field. It's going to be about, breakaway, another first down for the Rams. That was Kyren Williams on that one. Stafford likes his running backs on this play. Stafford took a bad hit after that one, after that pass. We got a small timeout break here. Injury on the field for Seattle, number 42. He seems to have gone up, and he seems to be doing okay. $10 minutes and 40 seconds to go now. In the NFC Championship game, the winner gets to play New England in the biggest game of the year. Stafford is going to throw one downfield, and it's way too far, and that could have been intercepted. I'm not sure why you're doing that. Again, I understand if you can find an open hole in the defense, but there's no reason to be doing that with 10 minutes and 21 seconds left. I'd keep getting first downs. There's no reason. Again, you can have a short, long running drive here. You've got the whole field open. You've got plenty of time. You've got everything on your side. You've got 3 timeouts. There's just no sense of urgency here. So I would just be trying to continue to get first downs. I don't know why you went for one long there. Yeah, sometimes you can blow open the field, but if you throw an interception, it's all for nothing. Stafford in the backfield here. He's going to throw one up the middle, and this one's going to be caught by number 84. That's going to be a first down. See, those are the kind of plays you should be throwing, 10 to 15 yards at a time. There's just no reason to be throwing down the field at this point. No reason whatsoever. $9:50 left. The Rams are at the 35-yard line of Seattle. Pass complete, inside again. Throwing back to the running back again. Stafford likes to throw screens, I've realized, at least in this game. A lot of passes to the running back. 2nd and 8, 9 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Again, no reason to rush if I'm the Rams. Just no reason to rush. Just take it 10 yards at a time. Try to get those first downs. He is doing a lot of dunking and dinking. I agree with you 100% on that regard. That's the statement to take, 100%. Another pass under, another dunk and dink. That's going to be, again, another one to the running back. Going to be about 3rd and 2 now. I think you're in 4-down territory, no? I don't think you're kicking a field goal here, no? I don't see it. I think you're probably in 4-down territory with 3 timeouts. 8 minutes and 30 seconds left. Big play here, 3rd and 1 for the Rams. Can the Rams find a way to extend this drive and get a first down? See what Stafford does here. He's going to not hand it off. He's going to throw it over the middle, and he is going to get an incomplete pass. Let's see, decision time. 4th and 1. Kick the field goal. Go for it. This is why doing the 2-point conversion earlier would have meant something, right? You could kick the field goal here and tie the game, but you can't now because you kicked the extra point, as Tom was talking about. They're going to go for it, obviously. No field goal. 4th and 1. 8:16 left in the game. Can the Rams get a first down and advance this one? Stafford's going to run, and he's going to get there. Didn't look like he was going to get there on first notice, but he did somehow push forward and get the first down. Falling forward, Matthew Stafford. He could have been sacked behind the line there of gain, but he was able to get past the line of scrimmage. And it's like, yep, he'll fall. Don't fumble the football there. He didn't. Could have fumbled the football. He is able to advance forward and get enough to give the Rams a fresh set of downs. 7 minutes and 40 seconds left here. 1st and 10. We're watching probably the most exciting quarter probably of the NFL season right here. Tackle in the backfield there. There's going to be a penalty flag too. Let's see what the penalty flag is. Probably holding, I'm guessing. Nope, it's going to be offsides on Seattle. So it's going to make it 1st and 5. 7:27 left. Seattle 31, Rams 27. Christian C1 Review covering Las Vegas and the world. C1 Review, Las Vegas' fastest growing multimedia outlet. We are here watching the Rams and the Seahawks. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your participation. The winner of this game will get New England in the biggest game of the year. Rams get another break. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty earlier. Stafford pushing forward. Offensive offside penalty. Again, you can do whatever you want here. You can open the playbook. You don't have to do anything crazy here. First down for the Rams after a shovel pass, I guess you could say, to Nacua. Shovel pass to Nacua, the Rams wide receiver from Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. Las Vegas' own Puka Nacua with a first down there. Nice shovel pass to Stafford couldn't find anything to the left. He throws something to the right, shovels it to the right. And they're able to get the first down. 6:30 left. Pass over the middle. to the 7-yard line. To Nakua. Excuse me. 2nd and 4, 6 minutes left. .555. Again, the Rams can take all the time they want. They got 3 timeouts. Can do whatever they want. They're at the 7-yard line approximately. There is no need to rush here. Rush of 1. 5:35 to go. This might be a time to pass to Devontae Adams here, potentially. 3rd and 4. Incomplete. All right, now you got a 4th and 4 here. Going for it again, I'm guessing. Okay, here we go. 4th and 4. Biggest play of the year right here. The Rams are at the 7-yard line of Seattle trying to continue this drive. Stafford's in the pocket. He throws. Incomplete pass. And Seattle is going to hold the Rams there. But one thing to note, Rams have all 3 timeouts remaining. They've got the 2-minute warning. And Seattle is going to be starting this drive from their own 7-yard line. By the way, on a side note, don't get a safety, Seattle. If by some chance Seattle was able to give up a safety here, the Rams can win with a game-winning field goal. A lot of game left still, 31-27. Great drive by the Rams. I don't think what we're going to be talking about in the post-show is that should the Rams have gone for that 2-point conversion? And I think they should have, looking back at this now, because you could have kicked a tying field goal. But again, there's 3 timeouts. There's 5 minutes left. The Seahawks are going to start at their own 7-yard line. They're deep in their own territory. So the Rams still have a chance to win this game, 100%. They have a chance to win this game, but they're going to have to play great defense here. If they give up a couple first downs, it's going to start getting dicey. So Rams have got to play good defense. Christian XT1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. Come to the entertainment capital of the world and watch the biggest game of the year. You don't have to go to Santa Clara, California. Come watch the biggest game of the year here in the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas. New England's going to play to the Rams. Well, the Seahawks are going to find out in a couple minutes. After this is over, we'll be going to our post show, discuss the biggest game of the year, a couple of other things. And thank you all for joining us throughout the entire NFL live season here on C1 Review in Las Vegas on YouTube. So yeah, you could have tried to draw them off sides. That's true. I don't know. Do you kick? I guess the point be told is that your argument is that, well, you didn't go for the 2-point conversion, so you're 31-27. If you kick that 3 points with 4:54 left and you've got 3 timeouts, then all you need is a field goal. But now they still need a touchdown. But I think the Rams are capable enough to do that, to score with a couple. I think if the Rams had 1:30 left and they were at their own 30-yard line, they could win this game in this situation. But I agree with you 100%. Maybe in the second situation, you just kick the field goal and then you take the 31-30 and then you hope to play great defense. So I agree with that. That might have been the better scenario there. So we'll see what happening in these next couple of minutes. But best game of the NFL season by far. How could it not be? It's lived up to the hype 100%. A couple of dumb calls from both teams, which I will just wonder, how does that happen in an NFC Championship game? I get that players are human and all that kind of stuff. They're just like us, but I don't understand how that happened. So here we go. Seattle starting from their own 6-7 yard line. They got to be careful here. Get a couple first downs and you're looking good, but if not, so I'm going to hand it off there. That's going to be a gain of about 4 yards. 2nd and 6 upcoming for the Seattle Seahawks here. Yep, 2nd and 6, 4:38. Second and 6, Darnold in the backfield. That is going to be a first down. And yeah, that's not good. So now if you're the Rams, I don't know if you start taking your timeouts yet, but that was a great pass effort by Seattle there. Not great, truly. Just not great. .330 left. I think you probably have to take a timeout after this play. Rams are going to hold there. Rams are not, and the Rams will take that first timeout. No, it's the beginning of the end when they get 2 more first downs. Mathematically, I like to work on clock, and I leave you with that. I like to work on clock. When the clock is over and there's no chance for the other team to get the ball back, then it's over. Rams still have 3 timeouts left. They've got the 2-minute warning. They held them on these next 2 plays. They can get the ball back with 3 minutes left and the 2-minute warning. It's not over yet, but if Seattle gets 2 more first downs, then it's pretty much over. That is where my head is. Let's get there first. We are still very far away from getting there. Let's get there first. Rams can play defense good on these next 2 plays. We've got an exciting last couple of minutes, which is what we all want. We all want a down-to-the-wire last-minute result here. That is what all of us are hoping for, obviously. Incomplete pass. And the Rams didn't have to use any of their timeouts there. 3rd and 8 upcoming. So a first down here by the Seahawks will not end the game now. Clock management, all that kind of stuff. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left here still. What do you do if you're Seattle? This is obviously the biggest play of your NFL season right here. What are you doing if you're the Seattle Seahawks right here? What are you doing here? This is going to be a tough one. Timeouts on the field by Seattle. Yeah, this is honestly the biggest play of the entire Seattle Seahawks football season right here. So I understand why they're taking the timeout. Here's the storyline. 31-27, Seattle over the Rams. 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. NFC Championship game. Winner goes to the Super Bowl, plays New England. Seattle gets a first down here. This is a good moment. Now, the reality of what it comes down to is that if Seattle does not get the first down here, we may have the most exciting 3 minutes of the NFL season here, and it will be because the Rams are going to be having a chance to drive down the field one more time. If I had to guess, I think that the Rams will be blitzing Sam Darnold here. This will be the moment that will show us. This will be the moment that absolutely shows us whether or not Sam Darnold, in a system where he's got all this talent around him, Again, I don't think I think he's a top 16 quarterback in the NFL in a league of 32 teams. He's not top 10, that's for sure. This will be the moment to see if whether he can manage the most important play of his NFL career and get a first down here. And if they cannot get a first down here, Matthew Stafford, who has won the biggest game of the year against the Cincinnati Bengals, will have a chance to take his team down the field and win it and have a game-winning touchdown. So this is really what it comes down to. And my pet peeve for this week and my pet peeve for Seattle was, can they actually win the big game with Sam Darnold? So as Tom says, the Rams defense needs to bring the house on this play. If Seattle gets a first down here, the game is still not over, though, due to clock management. There would still be 2 timeouts left for the Rams, and there's still 2 timeouts left for the Rams and the 2-minute warning. So Seattle needs at least 2 more first downs to get closer to winning this football game and playing New England. But if they don't get it here, we're going to be here for a little while. We're going to be here for at least another 30 minutes, I imagine. That will be a long running drive. That's just my opinion. We'll be here for another 30 minutes before this one's over. This one's going to be dragged out. So let's see what happens. We're on a commercial break right now. Again, go over to the main channel if you haven't. Watch our report on Las Vegas Combat Sports League. Tough Enough had their 151st event at the Palms Casino Resort on Thursday. Go over and watch our report in the video section. Also, Cheap Las Vegas Eats. Go over and watch that. Good stuff over there on the main front page of C. Winery's YouTube channel videos. We're here in Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world. Las Vegas is fastest growing multimedia outlet. We're happy to be here with you. We're watching the greatest football game of the year. I thought it would be, and it's lived up to the hype so far. 3rd and 8 upcoming now here. 3rd and 20 for 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. Sam Darnold. If they're able to hold him here, if the Rams are here, they are. The Rams are going to bring the house, as Tom said in the chat. Here they come. Let's take a look and see what happens here. I don't think they're going to get it. That's just my opinion. And they're going to be short. Incomplete, fumble, down by contact. It's going to be about incomplete pass. I think that's going to be incomplete, fumble. Seattle didn't get it. But what's the call on the field? They're going to give Seattle a first down there. I think that's got to be measured. I'm surprised. I think that could have been a fumble. I don't think he was even there, honestly, on the ball. Anyways, even though he caught it, I'd still want to measure that. If I'm this NFL officiating crew. Let's take a look. I don't think he got there. I don't think he got there. They are going to. So the Rams are going to challenge the spot. The Rams are absolutely going to challenge here, I think. So he was ruled down by contact. But I just don't think he's close to the marker. It should be like about 4th and inches here. If you really look at it closely, it doesn't feel like the ball crosses that high plane when he hits the bottom of the field there. So I don't know what the officiating is. See, they are rolling at a first down. That's disappointing. Again, I feel like there were some blown calls in this game so far for both teams. 1st and 10 for Seattle. Seattle will run up the middle. There's going to be a tackle for a loss of about 2 yards there. The Rams will probably use their last timeout here. They will, but they still get the 2-minute warning. So, again, Rams get a first down. Seattle gets a first down here. Going to be tough. Don't get a first down here. 2-minute drive for the Rams to win to go to the biggest game of the year. So we'll see. Yeah, I just don't like. I feel like the new way they measure. I miss the old days of the chain gang and coming out and actually measuring on the field. I miss that. I don't like these automatic measurements anymore that are computerized. I just don't like them, honestly, to tell you the truth. They should be checking that regardless. To me, it's just not good, but it is what it is. 2nd and 10 here. Seattle is going to get another 1st down, and that's going to make it difficult. And now the percentage for the Rams to get the ball back with maybe like about 40 seconds left, not very good. Again, that's the kind of play that, you got to make the difference of, but it's not looking good now because you only have the 2-minute warning left now. So, but there's a timeout on the field. So, again, maybe going for it on 4th down on the last play made sense. I think not going for the 2-point conversion earlier didn't make sense. Again, the first game, the Rams won 24-22. Seattle won the second one by a point. It's a 4-point game here. So, we're at 3 minutes right now. So they're resetting the clock time here. So with 3 minutes here, the Seahawks will have to run mathematically 2 plays before the 2-minute warning. And the reason that's so crucial here is because it'll be 3rd down at the 2-minute warning, which means if the Rams were then able to hold them, they'd still have about 1:45 left. So again, a margin of error is small for the Rams, but still there is potential possibility. So here's the run on 1st down. That run's going to be about 2 yards. So now you reset the game clock, and the Seahawks do have to run a play before the 2-minute warning. So there is a potential possibility the Rams could have about 1:20 seconds left here. But if the Seahawks get a 1st down here on 2nd and 7, if they get a 1st down here, then this game is over. There'll be knees, and that'll be it. And you can have Seattle and New England in the biggest game of the year. That's basically what we're looking at right now. That's what we're looking at for the scenario here. I'm going to guess they're going to run the ball again. Darnold is not going to run the ball. And we got a penalty flag on the field and an incomplete pass. And this could be the end of the game right here. Got a penalty flag on the Rams. That's going to pretty much end it. It's a tough way to end the year. I think there might be a couple of seconds left based on the math, but because you'd be at 2nd down with 2 minutes left, 20 seconds, 20 seconds potentially with the math. Remember, Miami did fumble the ball against Georgia Tech with 15 seconds left in the game. Stuff can still happen, but it's pretty much now it's like this is that you got to strip the ball out or something like that. All right, we're at the 2-minute warning, and it's going to be like 2nd and 3. 2 minutes left in the NFC Championship game. We're here in Las Vegas, C1 Interview YouTube Network, Las Vegas. This is the end before we get to talking about the biggest game of the year and wrapping it up. NFL Live, NFC Championship game, 31-27. Seattle a couple minutes away from playing New England in the biggest game of the year. In the post-show, we'll talk about the matchup, and we'll talk a couple little Las Vegas things quickly again that we were talking about today. And then that's it. But thank you so much for joining us today. As always, it's greatly appreciated. Your support is greatly appreciated. Whether you watch a minute, an hour, 10 hours, or 100 hours, we appreciate all of your help as always and support of CY Interview here in Las Vegas on YouTube. So, all right, so you get tackled. It's third down. It's a minute 20 left. Fourth down. Maybe there's 30 seconds left, potentially still. Maybe there's 30 seconds left for the Rams. Maybe there's 30 seconds left. Get a first down, game's over. You know, maybe there's 30 seconds left. And Stafford could throw the ball down the field, so. Well, I mean, duh. Tom, wait until the clock reaches 0 before saying that. You're going to jinx some team here, you know. It's not officially over yet. Wait till it's officially over. I agree with you, by the way, though. You're trying to jinx them. So, just kidding, but anyway. Let me pull up what we're going to talk about afterwards, by the way, also. Rams are going to tackle the Seahawks in the backfield. So you now got a minute 16 before they have to make their next snap. They're still going to have to get one here. So this is the moment in time where I ask you, Tom, 3rd and 7. It's the 40-yard line. I ask the audience, does Sam Darnold throw the football here? Or do you run the football and punt and hope for the best? I think you got to throw it here. And if you throw an incomplete pass, you're going to give Seattle an extra 30 or 40 seconds here. And Seattle's going to have to take a timeout. 1 minute and 15 seconds left, 3rd and 7. If Seattle does not get the first down here, Rams getting the ball back, most likely. This is the biggest play of Sam Darnold's entire football career right here. This is it. If he does not get this first down and the Rams get the ball back and march down the field, that tells you everything you need to know. That finally, that margin of error finally factored in place, which, again, I've never thought that Sam Darnold was an excellent quarterback. I think he did better last year in Minnesota. I think he's done a great year in this system in Seattle. I don't think he's better than a top 16 quarterback. But this is the kind of moment right now where you have a chance. You have a chance to make a difference. If you get the first down here, you have put yourself in a different category. If you don't get the first down here, not so much. If you end up losing the game. And Sam Darnold gets sacked in the backfield, as I thought. He tried to hand it off, and they're going to punt the football back. And now you're looking at about 32 seconds for the Rams, who are going to be deep. 32 seconds for the Rams to potentially throw some down the field. It's going to be tough, but they will have an opportunity. So it's not a bad play, though, by the way, giving your punter a little more room here. Again, they're just going to run this down, I'm going to guess, and take the 5 maybe. But you're not going to snap this until 1 second here, or you're going to take the 5. Let's see what ends up happening. They're going to take, I think that was delayed game, but okay, I guess not. Rams are going to have to start at their own 8-yard line. with 25 seconds remaining. You have to throw to midfield, then throw to the 20, and then throw to the end zone. I mean, this is going to be a tough one. Margin of error, it's just, again, if you're the Seattle Seahawks defense, you don't want to have pass interference here. That's really what you're looking for. You do not want to have pass interference. No pass interference here. This is like Joe Montana in the Super Bowl against the Bengals, except in that one, they were at the 8-yard line. They had 1:52 left. Throw to the middle of the field, caught, 30-yard line, gotta hurry, hurry up, gotta get to the line. Rams are going to spike it. They're going to have 10 seconds left. Better to be at your own 30 now compared to your 7, but now you're running out of time. To me, you've got to throw one to the 50-yard line, get out of bounds. You have 6 seconds left, and then you throw to the end zone. This is it. This is what we've got left here. If I'm the Rams, those are the 2 plays. I need to get to midfield, I need to get out of bounds, and then I need to throw a Hail Mary. And that's, by the way, how this game should end, honestly, because it's lived up to its expectations. Best game of the year by far, absolutely. Got a timeout on the field. I think Seattle used their last timeout. Let's see what the call is. 10 seconds left. Seattle is going to use their final timeout. So, after the game and after we're done here, go over to the main channel and check out our report again of the Las Vegas MMA promotion Tough Enough, who had their 151st event on Thursday at the Palms Casino Resort. Go watch our full report, The Future Stars of MMA. It's on the main channel in the video section. 2nd and 10. 10 seconds left here. Stafford's going to throw. He's going to get it, and he's going to get out of bounds. He made a catch, and nope, they're not ruling him out of bounds, and that's going to be it, unfortunately. The Rams did get to the sideline there at the 48-yard line, but they are not ruling him out of bounds. I would review that, though, to make sure. It doesn't look like he did. The receiver tried to get to the sideline, which would have given them the chance for the Hail Mary pass, but let's just take a look at the review here. Oh, Nakua did not get to the sideline. Las Vegas' own Nakua right there. I mean, I don't know what you rule, what is in bounds and what's out of bounds, but it feels like he was falling out of bounds there. So I don't understand why they didn't go at least to review that. I don't think he was in the vicinity of play, but they obviously ruled that. I feel like he was falling out of bounds to stop the clock, but they're not going to rule that. Final score, Seattle 31. The Rams 27. Seattle versus New England in the biggest game of the year. Make sure to go over to cwinerview.com. Of course, our website, we'll put that in the chat as well, of course, where you can find all of our weekly Las Vegas content from Las Vegas and beyond, cwinerview.com. Seattle versus New England in the championship game. Seattle by 2 or 3 scores. So here's what's interesting to note, and this is what's so crazy, right? Let's go back to the first game of the year. And again, what you are in September does not mean that's going to be what you are in January. But this Patriots team lost to the Raiders in the first game of the year. The hometown Las Vegas Raiders beat the AFC champions in the first year at New England 20-13. Obviously, a team got better as the year went on, but here's what I'm going to say about that. I'm taking a look at something here quickly. Thank you all. Aside from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers, Patriots didn't play anybody in the NFC this year of any consistency. They didn't play anybody of any opponents of consistency. They didn't play any of those NFC West teams. They played the Giants, not very good. So there is those kinds of things. So the reality of what it comes down to at the end of the day is that Patriots didn't play anybody in the NFC, and I think that they're not going to be able to handle Seattle. They're just not going to be able to. So that's basically what it comes down to. Seattle is just a high-powered offense, and I expect that Seattle will find a way. Seattle will find a way to beat New England. So Sam Darnold, again, finding a way to win today. Biggest win of his NFL career. It's not an NFL Hall of Famer, even if he wins the biggest game of the year in 2 weeks. But people had him written off for dead at the Jets a couple of years ago. So, So the Seahawks can run the ball. They can throw the ball. They have many different weapons. And as Tom has noted in the chat, Seattle's defense is a lot better than New England. Unless there's some crazy injury or some random variable, I can't see how New England wins in 2 weeks. And they play anybody. They played Carolina, which got better as the year went on, and they played Tampa Bay. They won at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay didn't make the playoffs. But wins over the Giants and wins over the Saints and wins over the Falcons by 1 point, by the way. Beat the Falcons by 1 point. That's not impressive. As far as their NFC opponents during the thing, they didn't play any of these top caliber playoff teams during the regular season. So my hats off are to taking Seattle. Seattle will beat New England. I'm sticking with that unless there's some random variable that comes up in the next 2 weeks. Game is in Santa Clara, but Seattle's going to get there, and this will be a rematch of Seattle and New England. The last time, of course, New England beat Seattle the last time. Tom Brady was still with the Patriots, and Bill Belichick was there a long time ago. But this will not be the first time that Seattle and New England play in the biggest game of the year as well. So we have that as well to note. But, New England would have to shorten that game beyond shorten. Seattle can score points quickly, and this game could get out of hand. I could see Seattle leading New England 14-0 after the first quarter, the score being 21-3 at the half. I could see that. I could absolutely see that. I think Drake May has got his work cut out for him, honestly, to tell you the truth. I think he's got his work cut out of him. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/CYinterview. We'll put that in the chat as well. CYinterview.com is the official website. And, of course, go over to the main channel and watch our recent videos on Tough Enough, the report from this past weekend, this past Thursday, the best eats in Las Vegas, and all those other kinds of things in that regard still. So, yeah, I mean, New England beat Denver with a backup quarterback. They beat Houston, who's never won and gone to the AFC Championship game. And the Chargers, do we really have to talk about how bad the Chargers are in the postseason? Chargers don't have a great history in the postseason. So New England got the easiest run to the biggest game of the year. So, and also go over and take a look at our recent coverage of Sexy the Show in Las Vegas, which just recently came back to Virgin Hotels in Las Vegas last week with Jennifer Roma. So go over and check out all those things on the main channel. We'll look forward to seeing the next show at 24 Oxford of Sexy the Show soon in Las Vegas as well, at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas. So we got all those things. But in closing, I'm not a travel agent. I disclaim I don't work for TripAdvisor or any of those things, but can't afford to go to the big game. Most people can't. Most people can't afford $6,200. Come to Las Vegas. If you're coming from Boston, Massachusetts, $300 Friday through Monday to watch the biggest game of the year in Las Vegas. Coming from Seattle, depending on the day, $200 to $300. get a hotel for a couple days, stay at the Luxor, stay at one of the other affordable resorts on the Las Vegas Strip downtown, Fremont Street, Binions, Fremont, Four Queens, whatever it might be. Stay at the Gold Coast or the Rio, also affordable hotel rooms just west of the Las Vegas Strip. Come and watch the biggest game of the year. There is nowhere else in the world to watch the biggest game of the year but Las Vegas, in my opinion. The atmosphere is unbelievable, you know. So, but I checked earlier on just the host team sites. So, you know, New York, Treasure Island. You know, if you're looking for affordable bang for your buck, obviously, if you're staying at the Bellagio or the Wynn or the Aria or the Cosmo, it's going to be a little more expensive, of course, but still going to be 20. I can't imagine you're spending more than 20%, 15% of what you spend going to the game in Santa Clara if you are a Seahawks or you are a Patriots fan. So come to Las Vegas. We'd love to have you and see that. I want to thank everybody who watched during this NFL Live season. Got one more of these. We'll probably be back here again for the biggest game of the year in 2 weeks. But I thank you so very much for everyone who watched our NFL Lives throughout the year, whether you're watching live or a recorded version of this. Thank you so much. Whether you watch a minute, an hour, 100 hours, thank you so much for being with us on C1 Review. Again, go over to the main channel, look at all of our recent videos. I'm Christianic for C1 Review here in Las Vegas. Las Vegas, the fastest growing. We're here in Las Vegas, the fastest growing multimedia outlet in Las Vegas, C1 Review. There's nowhere else to be in the world, the most exciting city in the world, the entertainment capital of the world. I'm Christianic for C1 Review. Till next time, yes, I agree. Give me Seattle over New England in the biggest game of the year. Congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks, who are going back to the biggest game of the year. They'll have a chance to avenge their loss to New England, which was many years ago, of course. But my argument is that New England played none of the major NFC teams during the regular season. They were not tested, and they're going to get the biggest test of the year, you know. So I agree, Tom. Come and spend money. Come support the Las Vegas economy. We always need it. Thank you so very much. You know, it has been fun indeed this year. We got one more at least still. I'm Christianic for C1 Review. Thank you so much. Have a good night and enjoy your week upcoming. Take care.